Hello everyone, welcome. It is just about 7 o'clock this morning on the east coast of North America. It is 8 p.m. in Korea at the moment, and we have a banger of a series all ready for you this morning, or this evening, or this afternoon, or whatever time it may be for you. We have Parting versus Bunny, the titan of PvT himself versus Bunny, the perennial up-and-comer who's actually looked rather good recently. Following that, we will have Ragnarok versus TY. And of course, Ragnarok playing for ITaX, because this is the Into the Alpha X Super Series we got going on. But Ragnarok, no slouch, versus the Season 1 GSL champion, TY, who is perhaps the best Terran in the world, although if you believe him, based off of based off the most recent interviews, he says he's top 3, top 4 Terran. I don't know if I believe that. I do know he is very, very good. Now we're just waiting for players to join our join the group so we can get started on our games for the day. As I wake up, I am this this is a excellent thing to wake up to, as we're gonna have two most excellent best of fives, and of course then we're not done yet, because there is Cynical Death. I'm not bald. And Kalaris was shaved him. No, never mind. Kalaris had very long hair when he was young. He was not bald. And on top of that, we're gonna have a lovely best of 7 afterwards. So I channel my my Gordon Ramsay V Sports. It's gonna be a most delicate, lovely best of 7 here between the winners of these two matches. So that's what we are waiting on. We're just waiting for Parting to join the lobby. And there's a lot of talk happening in Korean at the moment, so I don't necessarily know what's happening with that, but that's fine. I wish I did know some more Korean, just so it make life a little bit easier with this. Hello, Kashim. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Is it, or is that just my green screen? Pretty sure Kalaris is pretty sure Kalaris is more as a slightly blonder hair. As I'm sitting here waiting for my tea to cool down so I can wake up. How are you all doing on this wonderful Thursday morning? Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, I'm glad Turbo appears to be working for you now, Catharsis. Even if it has not been working for you in the past. So, while we get ready for these games, it's probably good time to talk about PvT at the moment. Parting, I did a best of 9 between him and Innovation about 3 weeks ago. 2-3 weeks ago at this point, where he smashed Innovation 5-2. And at the end of words, we did get a chance to interview him. And what he said was pretty much that PvT is, if you're any type of good, PvT was incredibly broken in favor of the Protoss player. Is favored by Protoss. The matchup favored Protoss early, mid, and late, and then there's this proxy void ray build that is almost unbeatable. And he smashed Innovation with it. 3 of the 4 times he did it. The only time he didn't was when the shield battery was able to be taken out ahead of anything happening. However, with that being said, things have evolved, and I got the opportunity to cast incredible PvT best of 5 on my channel on twitch.tv/BaMWolf last night between Anonymous and Special, and we saw some really cool stuff. Actually, seriously, one of the best PvT best of 5s I've seen in a while. We had a 27-minute Mech versus Skytoss game on Eternal Empire. We had a bunch of proxy void ray builds, but Anonymous has a really cool innovation where instead of just going for a mass void ray and trying to win like that, no, he drops 2 gates behind it, and he stops after 2 void rays and starts getting phoenixes to lift the cyclones, which is really cool, and it was rather effective, especially even when the players knew what was happening and knew that started building cyclones and all that, because cyclones are only as good as so long as they can kite, and when the void ray just gets on top of them, they die. So it looks like our vetoes are done. We're just gonna wait. I'm just waiting for a game to be added, or something like that. English, English, please. Don't know what Korean is, but it looks like the games are done. I believe this is still on the current map pool. Please, tea, water of life. Give me sucker. Give me give me caffeine. as I try to wake up from this, because of course that tournament I was casting last night ended at about 1 a.m. my time, and I had to just say 6:30 wake up for me here. So it's about 5.5 hours of sleep. 5 hours of sleep. So I'm definitely taking a nap after this. But it is absolutely worth it because we are going to have some incredible StarCraft here coming to you this morning. And of course, right now we have our lobby from map number 1 has been made. Just waiting on parting. Therefore, there we go. Parting has accepted, and this is on the new map pool. That is the exciting. Those are the exciting things I am excited to see. And why? Interesting. Yeah. Hopefully the logos mod is showing up. All right, so it looks like we have Gigantha Ali as map number 1, and I have no idea what that means, so I have no idea what it is translated into other language. You know, Death Aura is Aura de Muerte, Golden Wall is Pilares de Oro in Spanish, all these fun things. But, you know, Gigantha, it's something. But you know what? Our players are loaded in to this map number 5. Let's get into it. All right, here we go. Spawning the bottom left. In the red, representing Team NV, it's Bunny. That is the wrong style. One thing I didn't change over from last night. All right, there we go. And in the upper right, in the blue, representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, it's Parting. And of course, in the early game, if we're worried about proxy void ray, the first thing we're going to take a look at is the gas timings. Now, Parting, if this is in fact going to be some sort of proxy void ray shenanigans, we're going to see a second gas there before our Cybercore. So keep an eye on that for the moment, as we do have a probe on the way across the map, and he's a speedy boy. We got the speed zones here, and this is actually really my first chance to take a look at this new map here. And on visual inspection, again, if we're talking about being worried about proxy void ray, this seems like a pretty good map for it, with how much dead airspace there is and where you can proxy right there. But it looks like that is not what Parting is going for, not in this map number 1. Hot. Hot, hot, hot. So I burn my mouth on my tea as I try to get some caffeine. No bueno, but now we do have the SCV Scout moving across the map as well. And it looks like the command center will get down without too many issues. The probe took just a little bit too much damage as it tried to harass the barracks, which of course means it just has less room, less ability to block for longer. So that command center will get down post-haste. And now with the Reaper on the way as well, this map, really, what it reminds me, more so than anything else, it reminds me of, what was it, Yansu? No. I actually don't remember. There's a map, the long vertical map that we saw that had the Pocket Natural, and I cannot remember the name of it at the moment, but that's fine. As this map is obviously very different, but it's been a while since we've had a long and thin map. Of course, this means that the rush distance is perhaps just a little bit longer. Welcome, Flickerman. Glad to have you here. But of course, we see that the map is just a little bit longer than usual, or longer than our just kind of wide or square maps here. And I don't know what that's going to mean for how this map is going to play out, but it's going to be interesting. Anyway, we do see Twilight Council on the way, And this looks like we're going to see Parting's stock standard here. Actually, the Adept's going to get into the natural. Going to be able to deny this command center at 99.9% completion. Two SCVs are going to go down. And with the Adept's just sitting here, it's going to take a while for for anything to get complete. And the Adept's, okay, the Adept's is not going to get that SCV in time. Okay, now it is. So with the 3 Marines out, with the Hellion out, with the Reaper out, the SCV will finally get that last tick of build done, and now the natural command center is done. But of course, it was delayed a little bit. That's rather annoying for our Terran player, even if it really does not make too much of a difference. At the end of the day, it's about a 5-second delay. When we're talking about players of this caliber, 5 seconds are significant. And actually, we do see 3 gates going down, so Parting wants to go very aggressive here. As he goes into 4-gate blink behind this. Now, this is not the standard Parting build. Generally, we see him go 3-gate. Actually, nice job there with the Reaper Grenade, forcing the Stalker back regardless, although at this point, of course, the Stalker gave up the position. Now we have the Reaper, the Hellion, they're in. They see what is what, who's who, where's where, and why is why. They're not going to of course, be able to get any probe kills, but they do see the fact that there are 4 gates. They see that something is being corroded from the Twilight Council, even if they don't know exactly what it is. They can assume blink, as that is a fair assumption. There are very few charge openers that exist for Terran at the moment. Now we do have a medevac boosting right through that speed zone once again, as it looks to move, drop a couple Widow Mines into the main base behind this. And behind this, of course, we do see a couple more barracks down before a second command center. So we're moving up to 3-1-1 here, as Bunny looks to be a little bit more aggressive. And this Widow Mine, okay, so the pull is just barely in time. The 2 Widow Mines are going to go off, 2 probes are going to go down, but that's about it. And now we have Stalkers on the way. We have a Warp Prism on the way. And the question is whether Bunny is ready to deal with things. Actually, he's going to be able to get on top of this rather fast. Okay, how did he blink in there? Is there an observer on the map? There is not. Okay, so the Warp Prism was just there, and I just wasn't paying quite enough attention. So now the Stalkers, they're going to blink back out. First tank is, of course, dead. But now with 4 Stalkers on the way, the snowball does begin. Now we do have the Stalkers are going to blink on top of this bunker ASAP. And sure, they're not going to get the bunker quite yet, but they will get all the SCVs repairing it. And now with that, well, that is damage in and of itself. Now, of course, Stalkers are going down. Of course, this is Parting has great blink micro, but not perfect. And actually, the Widow Mines go off in the natural. See more probes going down. Looks like Widow Mines did indeed go off once again. So 3 more workers going down for the Protoss, but now with the Stalkers here, there's critical mass. The bunker is going down, and now there is a tank. So Parting is not necessarily going to be able to get on in. At the moment, he's going to have to wait for another blink. But now these Stalkers, they're just going to start shelling away this command center, forcing more SCVs off the line, forcing a repair. And I would like to see him just rotate around onto the main base, take advantage of the lack of tanks there. But for the moment, there are just more and more Stalkers on the way. As Parting says, you know what? This is my map. This is my domain here in this game number 1, as I'm going to just keep targeting down this command center and maybe killing it off. Command center is just barely not going to go down. As now with the lift, there is just more surface area for the SCVs to repair. But this is expensive for Bunny as he tries to get something done. So now we do have that Widow Mine drop in the main base once again. A couple more probes going down. Parting maybe not having the perfect pull, but still only 2 workers. And again, this is something where I would like to see Parting rotate around just a little. He's choosing to take the fight at the natural. Although, man, Stim is only just now starting. That seems like a mistake here from our Terran player. You go into 3-on-1 and you expect, well, you expect to be able to move away from the hardcore pressure the Parting is going for rather quickly. As you know, your Stim's done in around 6 minutes. Now it is 7:30 and Stim is only now 25% done. This period really just was forgotten about. So Bunny is going to be stuck in his base for rather much longer. Now, the 2 tanks do provide him some degree of security. But, of course, Parting has the ability to rotate around. There's a decent amount of space, although I believe the tank covers. Yeah, so Parting could blink in here and then move, but of course that is not perfect. And did we lose a Warp Prism? No, we didn't. I guess the Warp Prism just went home to deal with things. So now we do have the Warp Prism warping in a bunch of Zealots. Charge is just about done. So now we're going to see that Warp Prism moving on into the main base. We'll find a Viking for his troubles. for its troubles, and it's not optimal. But now with charge done in 10 seconds, we're gonna see charge lots warped on into the main base. So how many are we still on? 4 gates. We are still on 4 gates. Charge is gonna be warped into the main base as the stalkers attempt to aggress into the natural. And this is gonna be a nice 2-pronged attack here. Although you know what, Parting just says he's gonna go home. That is not necessarily the expected play there. Alright, so now we do have the Terran army moving out. Stim is not done yet, but it is done any second now. We do have the Chargelet warping, Chargelet drop into the main base, doing terrible, terrible damage indeed, forcing the entire army of Bunny to return home and Parting just by that little bit more time. So we did lose the Warp Prism. Yes, the Warp Prism did go down. But these Stalker, okay, so these Chargelets, they did in fact get 6 SCVs, and that's nice. And now we do have Parting trying to pare away the Terran army ever so slowly here. Force the Terran army to back up and back forward. And, of course, the big prize are any sort of medevacs. And, okay, so the Plague Stalkers, once again, they will be in the speed zone, which means, well, Terran's going to be in the speed zone, too. And Stimmed Bio in the speed zone is not exactly something that you want to deal with as a Protoss player. But now Parting, once again, is going to be kiting back as well as he can. Trying to snipe off what he can. And he has bought himself a lot of time. This two base attack coming from Bunny that really wants to hit it around 7-8 minutes. Well, it's 9 minutes and 34 seconds in this game. It has not found its way across the map yet. Actually, he's going to be able to get a medevac as well. So of course, any healing that Parting can shave off, any tanks that Parting can shave off, make this hold that much nicer. But we do have a +1 just about done. We do have extended thermal lance done. We have 3 Colossi on the map. And I don't see this working. I don't see this working at all for Bunny. I think he's just taken too much damage. I think he's taken, and he has just found himself in too poor of a situation. As he does take the forward third base, that will allow him to rally and continue to push through. But this is no upgrades for Bunny. This is a Ghost Academy just being done. And you know what it looks like here, more so than anything else, is it looks like we have Bunny gearing up for a SCV pull of some sort with that nice Heart of the Swarm style when you get 3 ghosts and then you pull the boys. But now the army is there, and of course this army is scary. It is formidable. Don't get me wrong. This is a nice sieged up position here as Bunny looks to own the middle of the map. But the sieged up position is only as good as the army is. And now with the party here, sitting here on, what is that? Still 3 Colossi. He's stopped Colossi for the moment. And now we do have the tanks. They find themselves out of position. The Stalker's going to be able to target them down. And now just with the 1 tank, with just a couple Blink Stalkers, and no Vikings left on the field. 3 Colossi here. This is a terrifying... Okay, so actually 2 Vikings here. This is just a terrifying force for Parting as he warps in more charge loss. Looks to make the second round of this attack work for him. Well, it is 3 Colossi. It is +1 armor just about done here, and with it's only 2 tanks. Well, it's going to be rather difficult for for Bunny to affect this hold. Parting looks like he maybe is waiting for maybe 1 more round of warp-ins before he decides to move in. But Bunny says, you know what? No, I'm going to take the fight to you. I'm at least going to be able to get rid of this observer. And there we do have ghosts on the field now. And Parting, I don't know, this doesn't really seem like he really wants to attack into this. I would like to see him go in maybe from multiple angles into charge lists from the right or something, eat off the tank shots before he commits with his main army. Because of course tanks are scary things, and they do deal with Colossi rather well. But now we do have Parting getting ready to attack from every which angle. We do have the War Prism on the way on the left hand side. We do have a bunch of charge lists on the right hand side. And we're going to see a nice 3-factor attack coming in here from Parting as he looks to really capitalize on this advantage that he has built for himself already. So there we do. We have the charge lots into the natural now. The rally should be able to take care of things eventually, but that's a decent amount of charge lots, and they are better upgraded than the Terran army. Meanwhile, the majority of the Terran army has been forced back to deal with this. Then we do have the Warp Prism in. Once again, we're going to see that nice, juicy 8-inch warp in on into the main base. But Parting's main army is not ready to commit as of yet, even if the majority of the army of Bunny has been forced back. And now with these 3 tanks, Parting does not feel confident to commit, but that's fine. You know, he says, you know what, I don't even need to commit all that much. Sure, I'm going to lose my War Prism. 19 SCVs have gone down. I've killed a decent amount of your army as well. And sure, we are even on army supply, quote unquote. I say even. It's more or less the same. but 20 workers have gone down, 72 workers to the 38 of Parting here. And now Parting feels happy to take his 5th base. And of course, what does Bunny do? He says, you know what? I am not winning this game if this goes any longer. So it is now time. It is now time to pull the boys, see what I can get done. And there are enough Vikings, but there are Disruptors here. And Disruptors are going to say, yeah, what boys? The boys are going down. The boys are dying as the Disruptor shots hit with aplomb, hit with gusto. And there we have it. GG Parting taking game number 1. So that was fun. And Parting really committing on that Blink Stalker style. Yeah, you know, it's oh, what is the map that I'm thinking of? There was a map. I think 2015, 2016. Let me see. So yeah, 2015, 2016. I forget what it was called. And it was pretty cool. It was long. It had a pocket natural. It wasn't Apotheosis, I don't think. Yep. Well, Apotheosis is not what I'm thinking, but Apotheosis is similar. It wasn't Yansu, was it? No, Vani Research Station. There we go. That's the map I am thinking of. And now once again we have our players into game number 2. We do have the nice banter all ongoing. I don't know what they're saying, but something. The chat is filled with Korean. Now we're getting ready for map number 2. It will be on Oxide. Of course, Oxide, I believe this was one of the smaller maps in the pool. How many, was that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? So was it 10 total maps? Not all that big. And you know it's exciting. It's a good time. You know, the best part about this, honestly, is we get to see maps on the new pool. We get to see it with some top tier Korean talent, and well, both of these things make me rather excited. Can I lurk if I'm casting? Is that how that works? I don't know, but I do know is what I do know is our players are now loading into game number 2. It will be on Oxide, if I remember correctly. This is one of the smaller maps in the pool, at least by rush distance, and it's got some rather cool visual effects as well. So, without further ado, we have a game number 1. We're loaded in, so let's go. Game. Oh, I say that we got a pause going on. Hello, Tom Star. Welcome, welcome. Glad you could join me on this wonderful Thursday morning as we look to move on into this second game of our first best of 5 of the night, because we have a couple more ready to go. I don't know what skacks are.
Game resumed.
Man, if anyone speaks Korean, I'd love in chat for you to tell me what's happening. But regardless, we have our game loaded in. So let's take a look at this map, shall we? So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 12 total bases on the map, and the rush distance is maybe not quite as small as I thought it was. It's a rather cool tundra type effect here. We even see where some Hellions have gone before. I guess Hellions. Really, I guess there was more tank tracks. But honestly, I don't know much about how this map plays, but man, it is a visually arresting map. It looks rather cool. So we do have a probe going out once again. And again, our first thing when we're looking in a PvT in this day and age is what is the status of the gas? How many gas are we going to see? Are we going to see double gas before Cyber? Or is Parting just going for his more standard style? So, okay, so looking at this map, it appears that there are some nice there are 2 paths for the probes to take, or for the scouting scouting workers to take here, as I guess the main route is, of course, blocked off by rocks. So there is that. So now we do have a probe that's going to be able to get into the main base. And once again, this will not be proxy void, right? We do not see the gas there on time. And Parting just going to look to harass, maybe prevent this National Command Center from going down as soon as possible. But, yeah, so the probe not going to be able to accomplish that. We do have a scouting SCV on the other side as well. And okay, never mind. So the probe is going to go in once again, and the command center will get delayed, but regardless, Parting knows his timings. The probe goes out, the probe goes back, and of course it won't be able to do this for too long. But yeah, there we go. Takes just enough damage, one hit before death, and now we do have the SCV on the other side of the map as well. It will in fact see that Parting is going for a natural, which I don't know if that's a sigh of relief or a worry here for Bunny. Probably just a sigh of relief. It's not. It means it's not proxy void ray. Which, of course, is that just terrifying, incredibly strong strat. Now we have the Reaper on the other side as well, and of course, the goals of the Reaper are multifaceted, twofold, threefold, fourfold. Because the Reaper, first and foremost, it is a scouting tool. It wants to see that what the kind of the first tech structure that the Protoss is going to throw down. But also, it's going to try to get any sort of probe damage if possible. Although, clearly, I mean, with the Adept out here, neither of these are going to happen. In fact, the Reaper was not even allowed to go into the main base. So Bunny is playing this game rather blind. Although the Adept, most likely... Okay, so actually the Adept should be able to get in here and delay this command center. Just barely. So look, the Adept's not going to go into the main base. The bunker is going to be delayed as well. But it looks like that is the trade that Parting is going for. As he doesn't feel confident getting on into the natural, but he was able to get the SCV that was building the bunker. So that's nice. Of course, any small adjustments, any small bits of damage you can do are rather nice. So we do see Parting once again going for 2-gate blink here. So this is now a fast expand build coming out on this map. Okay, so actually no, 3-gate. What am I saying? Parting clearly, but here's the interesting thing. Going in with a scouting oracle or hallucinated oracle here, trying to convince Bunny that this is a Stargate opener. But well, Bunny is wise to the tricks, and we're gonna see in exchange, we're gonna see a rather deadly opener coming up from our Bunny player. Yeah, okay, the Hellion is actually gonna get in. That's unfortunate for Parting, but again, with what we're seeing here, we do see drilling claws on the way. We do have an armory down. And Bunny is going to see what he can, trying to do what he can to just really lay down the damage here. Make Parting's life as difficult as possible with this armory burrowed, armory drilling claw widow mine drop. But of course, we will have a, we will have a rebel on the way. We have a forge on the way. But Parting says, you know what? I am aware of what you're doing. I just need to stop this, and I will be pretty far ahead because I mean, drilling claws. Armory, that is a rather significant commitment going on here for Bunny as he tries to get some damage done. And if Parting is able to really prevent that from happening, well, that is a pretty good situation for our Protoss player from Dragon Phoenix Gaming. So we should have one observer out by the time this medevac finds its way across the map here. Now, of course, it will find the third base. It will find proof of this third base. And I do like Parting's decision to go for that relatively fast third. As well, Widow Mines, what do they not do? They do not kill bases. Actually, they don't do any sort of structural damage whatsoever. So now we do have cannons on the way in both bases. And we have +1 as well because, when in Rome, might as well. And now the Stalkers, they will find this medevac. They will not be able to blink on top of it. Parting maybe just not quite on top of things as much as he would like. So the medevac will get out. Going to go around, try to see what can happen. And this is a rather, yeah. All the maps that are happening today, Mr. Chairman, that we're playing on will be on the new map pool. So we're gonna get to see some cool TVC, some cool PvP, PvT, and maybe some whatever else we're gonna get as well on these maps. As now it looks like we do have medevac drops coming in from both sides. The one in the natural will just get taken down with no damage. Meanwhile, there is one that's now going to go on into the main base. Now, of course, with the cannon here, this should not do too much damage. But Parting not on top of his pole, and this is disastrous. 9 workers going down just like that. Well, that's the point. Oh, that's one of the issues with this burrowed widow mine, or with the drilling claw attack here. Well, so these are the you say the tired old 8 maps. These are going to be the new tired 8 maps. As well, no, 7 maps. I don't think we. Map pool's 7 maps, not 8. But yeah, now we do have Stalkers. They're going to blink in. They're going to find these Widow Mines. And of course, they're going to take some shots. But really, there's just not a lot here for the Terran player. And sure, there's a warp in. Or sure, the SCV pull is a thing. But, you know, these are blink Stalkers. They're doing a decent amount. Okay, but now with the Widow Mines, they're going to get on top of these Stalkers. They're going to burrow in. And they're going to just barely not go off. Now, Parting forced to blink on the low ground. But Parting blinking with both his War Prism and his Stalkers is just doing a great job of killing everything off. And I don't know why we're not getting full death animations here, but 20 workers have gone down. And we do have the Widow Mine does successfully burrow once again on into the natural here. 5 more workers going down, but this feels like it is something that is maybe just a little bit better for Parting than it is for Bunny. Bunny's done some damage to be sure, but Parting is doing yet more so. But of course, Stim is now done, which means the time of the Blink Stalker as a dominant fighting force is now done. But of course, I say that, but that is only partially true. Nice blink micro here as another observer does go down, but not before more and more Widow Mines do go down. And once again, we do have the Widow Mine on the high ground. These drilling claw Widow Mines just doing tremendous jobs here as they try to make sure as they try to keep Bunny in the game. Oh, that Widow Mine shot was able to take out most of the sentries, and that is rather unfortunate. But Parting really just leaning into this as sure he's like, you know, I'm taking some probe damage. Don't get me wrong, but what happens if I just kill all your probes? I force probe pulls, and I just say, you know what, you have committed too hard. But the amount of Widow Mines here are making life rather difficult for Parting here. And sure, he's able to blink out from some of them, but not out from all of them. As there are, what is that, 7? There are more Widow Mines than there are Marines and Marauders combined on this map. Alright, so it looks like this Widow Mine will fire once again. This Widow Mine's got 19 total probe kills. That is insane in the membrane. But now we do have Parting does have a third base behind this. 47 workers to the 23 SCVs. Charge on the way. Dark Shrine on the way. And Bunny, he's stuck on 2 bases. This time he does have a third command center. But again, it's 8 minutes 30 seconds, and Parting is just doing what Parting does best. He leans in to the Terran with his entire might, with his entire weight, and he says, "You know what? I'm gonna just make. I have the better micro. I am the superior player. I'm going to make life incredibly difficult." But there's another Widow Mine drop coming in. 8 more workers going down, and man, these drops do not stop. They just kind of sit around, wait for whatever Parting's not paying attention, and kill more and more workers. So let's look at this. 32 probes have gone down. 41 SCVs have gone down. And this is a slobber knocker of a game number 2. So we do have a nice double drop here coming on. Marine, Marauder, Medevac coming on the right-hand side. As Parting owns the middle of the map with these Stalkers. The question, though, is not whether he owns the middle of the map. The question is whether he will see the side of the map. As he does have an observer in position. He will see these 2 Medevacs going in out. Parting on the way home, warping in a couple more Stalkers. And a Bunny will be forced to turn back. But of course, he will be able to get this observer, and this is the decent amount of observers have died this game. The Stalkers are going to be able to get on top of this drop. This entire drop will die. Okay, so we do have that drop now sitting behind the main base here. And what do we have? Charge is not done yet. Oh, actually, no, charge is just completing. Anyway, my question was how many observers have died? 3 observers have died this game. So now Parting is going to be able to get in a nicely placed missile turret. But now this, with the Dark Templar all their way in, they're just going to be able to knock out this missile turret immediately. Doesn't matter about the SCV repair. Dark Templars do damage just about as fast as upgraded Thors. So now we do have the Blink Stalker's going to go in. But yeah, that's it. GG. Parting doing too much. Bunny taking the loss once again. Parting up 2-0 in this best of 5. I can drink the life-giving water now. Got some nice Earl Grey. Although I believe I have scorched the tea just slightly. It's maybe a little bit too bitter than I would normally like. But I did not have a whole lot of time this morning between waking up and making sure I got in front of you all lovely people. So that is what happens. But of course, that is absolutely... Nope, this is my tea mug. because it's my alma mater. Arizona State is #1 in innovation. My alma mater for my undergrad and my master's, at least. PhD. I'm going to PhD somewhere else because, as they say, it is piled high and deep. And you know what? For the first time in this series, we will see a familiar map as Death Aura is coming up for map number 3. So we got two new maps. And what was it? Death Aura, Submarine. What was the third one that was kept? Let me take a look because I do not remember. All right. So yeah, it is what are the 3 maps that were kept? It was Submarine, Death Aura, and Pillars of Gold. But you know what? You know who's also the gold standard? Wow, that's what an incredible segue here. But anyway, the gold standard are these 2 players, and we've loaded into map number 3. And here we are on the bottom right in the red. His series life on the line here, representing Team NV. It's Bunny. And in the upper left, up 2 games to 0, 1 game away from the finals, it's Parting. And what does our dear Protoss friend go for on this map number 3 when he is so close to moving on to playing the winner of TY Ragnarok in the finals here? Well, he says, you know what? You know what's a pretty gosh darn good build? It is the Max Packs build. And not only am I going to do the Max Packs build, I'm going to put this gateway as close as physically possible to the Terran base here. This is a little bit ballsy coming here from Parting, as it is just barely out of the normal vision of any sort of SCV that's going to go try to build the natural command center. So now we do have the probe harassing. Says, you know what, look, I am fine. There is nothing untowards here whatsoever. I am playing a stock standard game, and now this the SCV is going to go down, and the question is, what mineral patch does it mine from in order to check, before it builds that command center? It looks like it will not mine from one at all, and there we go. The SCVs will not see that there's just a zealot that's going to be rallied onto this command center post-haste. So now, of course, we do have the SCV on into the natural, and he's not even going to check. He's not going to check the main base. He will not see that there is no gate there. He just says, you know what, there's a natural. That is all I need to know. The Reaper is now on the other side of the map as well. Now the Zealot is here. Unfortunate timing for Parting, of course, as the Reaper will find this. The Reaper will find this Zealot as it goes out. Zealot really not out for that much farther, but now we do have the second Zealot on the way. Natural Command Center is canceled. Will have to be restarted on the high ground. Okay. Well, Catharsis, we're talking about balance here. It is not fair to talk when we're talking about players like Parting as Bunny. I think we would all agree that Parting is just... Bunny is a great player, and Bunny's had some great TVZ results, but I think Parting is just on a different level, and he is absolutely a player that I would expect to win this matchup. He is one of the all-time greats in PvT in general. I know before Season 1 of the GSL, he had the highest all-time PvT win rate in the GSL of any player that's ever played. So, if we, okay, so actually, no, the Reaper's going to be here, going to do a good job. Actually, so the Stalker will be forced to recall. But there's a bunker now behind the natural mineral line. And that's going to be rather annoying here. It's going to make life rather difficult, but the question is whether the bunker's going to get up, and the Stalker's just barely going to... okay, the Stalker just barely doesn't get it, but the SCV is also dead. So that means there's going to be no repair on this bunker, and once we see a shield battery on the way up, well... I see what Parting is doing. This is just some incredible micro here. He's waiting for the Reaper shot. He says, okay, Reaper shot, now I can hit. Reaper shot, now I can hit. Make use of the timing. So this Stalker's really just not taking much damage at all. And despite that, so now we're just seeing some incredible micro games here, back and forth, as the bunker is just slowly being whittled down here. And both players really just trying to do what they can. This is actually really incredible micro, but now we do have the Reaper goes out. Says, you know what, I think I've done enough damage to the Stalker to move out and get stuff done. But nope, there's a shield battery in the main base. And now the bunker will be salvaged, and the Reaper is forced to go out. And sure, that's annoying for Parting. Absolutely. But not the end of the world in any shape of the stretch of the imagination. as he has delayed the command center until about 4 minutes for the Terran player. And that's not all that fun. So now we do have the gate. It will, of course, one last warp in from this gate will be used before it goes down in a blaze of glory. There we go, the pylon gate's going to get killed after that. And this is going to be rather difficult for Parting to go and maybe get anything done on into the mid game. But we do see a robo on the way. We do have 2 gates on the map. Would not be surprised to see a third one go down, as well as Parting maybe looks to amp up tier 2 of this aggression. And there we have it. We're down to 2 gates. But now with these Zealots here, with the Stalker here, well, okay, the Reaper's actually going to be able to micro it back once again. Blink now just about done. As Parting looks to go lean into that aggression once again, not really allowing his opponent any time to rest, any time to find a break to maybe get back. And actually, that Liberator will of course be caught in the middle of the map. It was scouted by the Adepts or by the Zealots and killed by the Stalkers, as they work in tandem to try to make sure that Parting gets exactly what he wants out of this third map. And yeah, behind this is just 2-gate blink. We do have a Robo Bay behind this as Parting looks to go on into the mid game. Would not be surprised to see him really take a third command center rather soon, as we do have that double gas in the natural as well. So this is just enough Stalkers to maybe be a little bit of a thorn in the side of our Terran player. Not really enough to get a whole lot done, especially not with the blink, with everything else. And now we do have a 3-on-1 here coming before our before the third command center. So once again, it looks like Bunny does want to get some sort of damage done. And of course, Parting's really not going to get a ton of work done here. Just trying to shave off what he can. There are tanks, of course, and tanks are enough to deal with a two-gate Stalker just fine. But now we do have a Warp Prism coming in, so it does look like Parting wants to commit at least a little. But yeah, we do have our third base on the way now. And I don't believe Bunny knows exactly how many gates Parting has here. So he is buttoning up as if this was going to be extremely committed to aggression, even though it is not. That is not exactly the case. So we do have charge on the way as well. Colossi, our Colossus all the way up to this. As Parting really just looks to power up to be able to deal with the committed attack we're going to see from Bunny here. Because again, this is a late third command center. We did see our second and third barracks added before that command center, which of course means that Bunny wants to be a little bit more aggressive, or at the very least be able to get something done. Now Parting is going to blink on. He was baited by those Stalkers. Nice play there from Bunny, as well, 3 tank shots absolutely eviscerate the Stalker line. But now it does look like Bunny is getting ready to push, as he does salvage that bunker. And of course, now with what is that, 3 Stalkers now on the map, this is not the force that Parting needs to be able to push his Terran opponent back to really shave off what he wants to on their side of the map. But you know, maybe this Warp Prism with Zealots, of course the Zealots do not have charge, but they can still kill SCPs just fine and dandy. So with this Warp Prism is going to just bulldog the Zealots on top of the Marines. And some really nice micro here from Parting. Although the nice micro here from Bunny as well, as he tries to kill the Warp Prism, but well, you know what? The Warp Prism is just too strong. The finals is best of 7 Catharsis. So we got this best of 5, and then we have a best of 5 between TY and Ragnarok. And then the losers play in an uncasted game, best of 3, for the prize pool, and then best of 7 and then of course the finals will be best of 7. So we get to see all of the new maps. So yeah, there we go. So we do have the army of our Terran player now moving across the map. And Parting says, I want to meet you in the middle. I want to get as many Colossus shots off as possible, force as many siege ups as possible, as I do what I can to make sure that this push happens as slow as possible. Nice Hunter Seeker, nice anti-armor missile. Wow, you can tell I've been playing the game for a while here from our Terran player. Yes, the VODs are on Trovo. I believe it is possible. You just go to the page, and the VODs are posted there. So now we do have this Terran army showing up once again, and that's a lot of tanks. There are 5 tanks here on the map, and tanks absolutely annihilate Colossi here. So 1 Colossus will go down, but in exchange for 3 tanks, really for 4 tanks here, and Parting's making a great hold. This is a really good hold, especially considering how little he was able to slow the push down. And now we do have that Warp Prism on into the main base once again. This time the Zealots have charge. They have +1. They are that much more effective, as Parting looks to delay and do damage to Bunny, even as even as this happens. So now we do have the War Prism just going to sit in the bottom left-hand side of the map. But of course, with the Viking here, this will force a recall. So now, of course, behind this, we do see a 4th base on the way for Parting. We see double Robo Disruptor. We see a 2nd Forge, Dark Shrine, all these fun things as Parting says, you know what, I got a lot of money. I've taken some great trades. And now I get the time to really kind of take care of what I want to. And it looks like Bunny has given up on any sort of tank pressure whatsoever. This is not TY. This is not Bunny building tons and tons and tons of tanks and just saying, you know what, come at me, bro. I'm going to win because I am impenetrable. No, Bunny wants to lean hardcore into that full-on bio play. And wow, I just did notice this, that push was without +1. +1 is only just now on the road to completion here. And that's never something you want to see. As again, generally when we see that push, it is with +1 stem combat shields, all those fun upgrades, and they all link in together. So now we have the War Prism in once again. This time, well, there are just a bunch of Vikings, so that will get cleaned up. And honestly, what do we have? +1 is finishing up. We do have 3 ghosts on the way, a bunch of Vikings. We're going up to a grand total of 7. Of course, the math is you want 3 Vikings for every Colossus. So with 2 Colossi here, 8 Vikings or 6 Vikings is good enough. Even going up to 8, I do not mind. Yeah, Bunny definitely has an opportunity to win, but he is kind of behind in every aspect of this game. He's behind in bases. He is behind in tech. But he does have an opportunity. And now we do have enhanced shockwaves on the way, and I would almost not be surprised to see Bunny just try to pull the boys when enhanced shockwaves is done. But of course, you and I both know that there are disruptors on the field, which means that any sort of SCV pull says no, this is not a thing. But now we do have chargelets, massive chargelets on the right, DTs on the left, and Parting once again, he's gonna step forward, try to see what he can, try to shave off as much as he can here. But of course, the Vikings do reign supreme, and these Colossi are going down before the main fight. But the question is whether these disruptors are going to be able to get enough. And yeah, these Stalkers were not, or these Vikings were not targeted down all the way. So there's not a whole lot of splash in this army at the moment here, as the disruptors have spent their loads, and the charge lot's not really charging in. So it really feels like Bunny has found an excellent position here, especially with these landed Vikings now finding the way to break the 4th base. So now we do have the disruptor shots going in once again, not quite landing the way they need to though. Alright, but now the more landed Vikings, they do explode, they do go down, and the longer this lasts, the more Parting is able to chip away, the better for our Terran player. So these disruptor shots really struggling to land, but behind this, of course, there is no economy for Bunnies. Parting is even absolutely... Parting can even lose this base, and it's not even a big deal. He has a base on the right-hand side that was his 5th base, but now it's 4th. But 47 SCVs have gone down across the map with the Chargelet run by, with the DT run by. And Bunny just kind of finds himself all in. He's like, you know what, I got 24 workers. And sure, I got a minor upgrade lead, but that is not, or a minor army supply lead, but that is not what it takes to win this game. He's now going to rotate around to the right-hand side. But now we have the DT Blink on the way. Dark Templar, once again, they find their way into the 3rd base. And, yeah, we do see Bunny stimming onto the 3rd base. He will EMP this missile, or this, whatever it's called. This shield battery to make sure that the shield battery overcharge is not going to be a thing. But now we do have the tank. There's a tank behind, but Parting has managed to outmaneuver the Terran army here. And the Liberators are the only thing that are keeping Bunnies in this fight, as we will have more and more workers get out, but more and more bases are going down here as Bunnies just started to play whack-a-mole. Liberators going to be able to siege up, but of course with the +2 Stalkers, these Liberators will not last all that long. Now, okay, Parting, there we go. Parting going to target that last one down. Parting now finds himself up on army supply, up on economy. Sure, he's lost 2 bases, but he does have that 3rd base, that fresh 3rd base of his own. But okay, these disruptors don't want to donate them. There we have it. GG Parting taking the series 3-0. And yeah, as Sushi is saying in chat at the moment, well, if you want to support these players, if you think this tournament's pretty cool, you can support them. You can support this tournament through no investment of your own. There is the code AXCOM171, adds 50 cents to the prize pool, just for filling out that code. And of course, with players like Bunny, with Parting, with TY, with Ragnarok, well, that is absolutely the kind of thing that we want to see or the type of players that we want to support as much as possible. And of course, there are other things. You can tip your caster if you would like. If you think I'm doing cool stuff, you can buy the replays for this, I believe. You can do other things like that. So we do have we have Shinibom. So we have Ragnarok and TY in. Okay, so what is that? I believe Shinibom is the Shinibom is Ragnarok's alt. Unfortunate that we get that. TY plays for Afrika. And of course, Ragnarok plays for Alpha X. Alright, so we have bans going here now. And I'm going to take the time to go for a quick break as pick bans happen, just so I can finish the rest of my breakfast. And when we're back, we're going to have Ragnarok, we're going to have TY, it's going to be a best of 5 on the new maps. It's going to be exciting. Alright, that was a rather quick break. It is not even... Okay, my chair does not want... My chair wants me to lean back. Wants me to lean back, even if I don't want that. But now we have our lobby, or we have our bans done. We're just going to wait for... just going to wait for the maps to be created. Of course, it will be Ragnarok or Shinibom, as we do see here. Versus as he is in the game. I believe I have the aliases set up properly, so the intros will work as we would like. And it will be TY as well, playing for, of course, the Afrika Freaks. Of course, he also rocks the Into the Clan. He's a member of the Into the Clan on Battle.net. Into the Clan, of course, one of the crew sponsors of this tournament, of the Into the Alpha X Super Series. But also, of course, they are they're one of the longest standing, largest, most well-known Korean StarCraft clans, along with who was it? What, Sun, I believe, was another one of the big ones. Although, of course, they have made the transition into StarCraft 2 rather nicely, and some of those big StarCraft 1 clans fading away just a little. So, yeah, unfortunately, we did not see Bunny take a map in that first series, but I can't say I'm all that surprised. Why in the... Let's go. I'll fix that on a break, I guess. So I apologize for the graininess on my green screen. Of course, it is because I started this broadcast. I started this broadcast before the sun was up, and now with just a little bit of daylight streaming in through my curtains, even if I do have the blinds closed. Well, that's going to lead to just a slight different color change, and that needs to be fixed. So, with that being said, it looks like we're on a 2-minute break, so I'm going to take that opportunity to cut to a break screen just briefly so I can fix the background of my green screen. And then we're going to get ready to go for game number 1 of TY versus Ragnarok. All right, I thought I fixed that. Yeah. Okay. Now, no, never mind. The graininess is, of course, just the stars in the background. All right. So it looks like the Korean cast is back, which means we are back, which means we are getting ready to load into our first map of TY versus Ragnarok, or Shinibom, as he is going here. I don't know what Shinibom means, but that's what you see. That's what you hear whenever you see the alpha at, or the what is it? The Hot 6 intro. Let's see whether. From Korean. Yep, doesn't know. Well, Google Translate is failing me there, but Bom Bom Shinny Bom, or something like that. You know, when we see the Hot 6 intro there for the GSL cast, so I guess that's what that is in reference to. But of course, we have our players loaded in to map number 1 of this new best of 5. Let's get into it. And here we are in the upper left, in the red, representing Team Alpha X. It is Ragnarok. And in the bottom right, in the blue, for the Afrika Freaks, it's TY. Hot Shiksu indeed. The question is here, what are we going to see from these players? Of course, just as Parting was favored in that first best of 5, TY is probably pretty gosh darn favored here in the second best of 5. Not saying nothing is Ragnarok, of course, a round of 16 GSL player. Yeah, it really felt like TY had that post-victory slump. I mean, post-victory slump. He still made the, what was it, round of 4 of last season? Round of 8. Where did he get knocked out? But yeah, what was the round of 4 against Stats? But that's still a pretty good result. But yeah, if we're talking about previous years, I guess yeah, he is back in form now. I'm glad, the youngest ever Terran or player, really pro player ever. When he started, he was 11 when he started, baby. he had a 10 loss streak prior to the current. Really, he did. I guess that must have been in online things because of course he did a great job. He made round of 4 of the GSL season 2. He won GSL season 1. So of course it's hard to give too much stock to these online events because yeah, we get great games and it's good to see players, but the Into the Alpha X Pro series does not necessarily. Oh man, no spoilers, Sushi. I haven't got a chance to get through all the GSL games yet. Well, although I guess it was TY versus Down. No, okay, that was a winners match. I'm through the first 2 best of 5s, but I've spent too much time casting over the last couple days to actually be able to catch up with that entire thing. So I do know Zhao beat Armani in the first one. So, well, I mean, disappointing. He's in the round. He got in the round of 16 for the first time ever. He went and he made it at least to the final final match of the day. And of course, losing to TY is never a. It's nothing to shake a stick at. TY, of course, is incredible. His PVT is incredible, or his TVP is incredible. TY is not race changed. He's not decided to suddenly play Protoss. Despite how the bellyaching over the years about how Protoss is just easy race. And anyone who plays it would never be a pro in any other race. I disagree with that, but gotta give a nice shout out to StarCraft Reddit here. But anyway, now we do have the Reaper. Trying to see what it can get done. Of course, really not going to get a whole lot. That's a rather fancy Reaper Cliff with the fluorescence there, as we're here on Light Shade, and this is of course a very small map. This is our. So it was Blizzard said, you know what? There's not enough rush maps in the pool. We're not gonna just have submarine. Okay, this Reaper will get trapped and will get killed even before speed. Okay, there we go. But yeah, but there are not enough rush maps on the pool. You know what? We need more. We need more of them. We need more maps with really short rush distances, and of course, any map with a really short rush distance, unless it's something with just a massive natural wall. And this is actually a relatively big natural 2 wall off. Not gonna lie. Will of course favor the Terran. This is no the Dasani station, not Dasani station, whatever it was called. Whatever it was called. Anyway, the map that was unwallable by the Protoss pretty much. You had to. It was like a 4 building wall off, and the Speedling all in just won every time because there was no wall possible. But now we do have the Hellions. They will run in. They will be able to line up these drones, and 4 just die immediately. That being said, though, I'm not sure that four Hellions, four drones, when you'd have a Hellion Banshee on the way, I'm not exactly sure that is the best use of your time, the best use of your money, well, best use of your resources there. But of course, behind this, we do have 30 command center on the way. As Parting tries to, or as wow, not Parting. Parting is not in this map. As TY now advances on into the mid game, so we do see double command center there. This is of course going to be Bio. We do see Stim on the way as well. And again, TY just finds himself in a tries to find himself in a good position to move on into the mid game. And he did not stop Hellion production all that much. Although to be fair, he sacrificed 4 Hellions, got four drones, and there's the other 4. So this was 8 Hellion aggression. I mean, yeah. You say that, Catharsis, and I really try not to talk about balance too much when I cast, outside of, joking references to things. But that being said, Protoss has been in a lot of finals recently. And judging just purely based off tournament, and I agree, it would be nice to see a Protoss victory here. And, I would not be surprised to see Protoss just kind of win Season 3 of the GSL, considering, well, Season 1 was the Terran season. Terran, they had the Jim Raynor voice on the announcements and a Terran one, and then Season 2 of the GSL was the Zerg season, and a Zerg one. Now Season 3 of the GSL is the Protoss season, and stats is looking pretty doggone good, so I would not be surprised to see him take it all the way. But yeah, they get second, they don't win anything, but you also got to remember here, in the West, who do we Protoss has never really necessarily been the, okay, we've kind of had Showtime for a bit. But he's fallen off. We have Neeb for a bit, but again, Neeb has not been as good. I think objectively has not been as good as he was when he was killing Koreans back in 2016. And then in Korea, well, we have Trap and Stats. Trap, Stats, and Parting as kind of the holy trinity there. And they're all doing very good, and they're all making finals, or semifinals. But on the flip side, of course, we're missing Classic. I guess we have Zest as well. Yeah, and Estrella is just finally dominant. Yeah. So that's kind of the less to say about that. But you know, when you're consistently making finals and maybe just not getting there quite enough, I'm not going to say. And when these finals are going to Game 7 against arguably the best player in the world, I'm not convinced that that's a balance just so much as, well, Raynor is an absolute god. And actually, look at the look at the upgrade timings here. Oh yeah. Look at the upgrade timings here. They're now finishing up really within seconds of each other. And now, okay, of course, Baneling speed is now done. Okay, so we do have these Hellbats. It is nice to see more and more Hellbats being made use of here. So now we do have the Zerglings, the Banelings. They will surround this. We'll be able to clean this up without too much difficulty. Now the drop will be forced back once again. And Ragnarok, he's found a good way into the game. He has his 4 bases. He is mining off of 71 workers. Nice move on the right hand side just to be able to clear off some of this creep, and really should be able to stim on in here. Maybe take care of these some of these workers, but nope, there is a nice reaction from Ragnarok in exchange. And here we see one of the results of this being a rather small map. TY has done an excellent job of pushing creep spread back. So, you know, on the one hand, creep spread on small maps, it's rather easy to get to your players, to your opponent's third, your fourth with that creep. But on the flip side, it doesn't take a whole lot to push it back. And that is what we are seeing here. Now the Mutas, they're going to fly in. They will reveal themselves for this first time and get on top of all these SCVs. Really only killed 2. With TY with the excellent reactions here. And we just see more and more Mutas on the way. 2-2 on the way. And TY has forgotten his +2 Carapace. Or, well, not +2 Carapace. Marines do not have Carapace. Carapace is not the plural there. Anyway, Marines do not have Carapaces. So, there's now that. Now the drop is going to be broken down just a little, and it looks like so Ragnarok's going to take his 5th base on the upper middle. And of course, these are new maps, so it's kind of interesting to see what the pro players do, whether they decide to take things. But I guess because of the rocks. Oh, that's a nice Widowmine shot. Of course, that's maybe not enough, as the only other Widowmine is on the right-hand side that will not be in the way. And now Ragnarok is just swarming here on the Terran, trying to see what he can to really just kill off the Terran before he's able to unload. But of course, there is the TY rally, so that's really not going to be able to accomplish what Ragnarok is looking for. Now, we do have a run by all prepped on the bottom right-hand side. This one will get scouted by the drop, I think. Well, no, it looks like the drop is just going to be there on the other side of the map. But now, okay, there we do have the Banelings. Now, they're going to run in. They will be scouted by this. The Banelings should be able to, well, not really get a whole lot done. They will burst the wall down. And that's about it. They're just prepping for the next level of this run by, as we do have more Banelings on the way morphing in. Now the Mutas are going to find their way into the main base, try to see what they can get done. Really kill the reactor on this factory, which is really nice. Less Widowmines made per second are always a wonderful thing. But meanwhile, we do have the main army, or at least the expeditionary force of TY fighting itself on the upper right-hand side of the map, trying to see whether he can aggress on into this 4th base. And that's a nice Widowmine shot. Absolutely incredible Widowmine shot there, killing off most, if not all, of the Banelings. But now we do have that Baneling run by onto the left-hand side. Going to be able to kill off 16 workers and the missile turret. All these things are very nice here for our Terran player. And it looks like TY is struck a little by some indecision. As this army, it is nice and pre-split, but it does not look like that's exactly something that TY wants to do. But meanwhile, we do have the Zerglings, we do have Banelings running in onto the 3rd base here of TY. But of course, there's just enough there, enough Widowmines and everything else that the Mutas will be forced back. Oh, a nice Trader Widowmine shot there. Ragnarok doing a great job of dragging the Widowmines on to the main army of TY. Now Ragnarok, TY, they're sitting pretty evenly paired. TY starting to get with that 3-2 on the way. So for the moment, Ragnarok has a nice upgrade advantage already for him. And this is good. This is a nice pre-split here. There's not a whole lot of creep behind. Oh, that Widowmine shot. That Widowmine shot may have just given TY the opening he needs to be able to kill off this 4th base. They're just how much did I get? Kills 31. It killed 31 Lings and Banes, and really just a lot of as many Banelings as Lings there. Now we do have Ragnarok taking his entire side of the map at this point, which is fine because his 5th base is going to get cut off for this 4th, and now is the time for him to move on, try to see what he can get done, see whether he can maybe force this Terran army back. But now with the Banelings off of creep, That does not seem like a likely scenario here. Now with the Mutas fighting as well, this seems the army on the creep shall die. But that's once again, this expeditionary force on the right-hand side is making life rather difficult here for our Zerg player. And yeah, Ragnarok has not been allowed to mine from this upper right-hand side base. Or the upper middle base, I guess. And there we have it. 2-2 is now done. +3 attack is on the way. And now we do have this drop from TY on the floor left-hand side. Going to just target down these Mutalisks for the most part. Meanwhile, the base, the 5th base that was never allowed to be mined from, is now going to go down. And TY just swarming all over the map, doing damage all over the place. So we do have Ragnarok running in, trying to see what he can get done. Maybe take care of this outpost. But no, there are still Marines there, and TY should just be able to pick up and leave, because they're just, the Mutaflock is not nearly as scary as it once was. And now the rally's coming in once again. Banelings are gonna, Widow Mines are gonna burrow, and there we have it. GG Ragnarok taking game number 1. And that was an impressive showing there from our Sunrise. Why do you got to do this to me this way? That was an impressive showing from our Terran player. Apologize that my green screen is going away for half a second. We need to fix this once again because Sunrise. The light going on into my room. There we go. That's fixed. Okay, there we go. I don't know why that shut down, but we have game number 2 all ready to go. It will be on Gigantha. And I'm excited to see more. If we're just gonna get games of that caliber all morning, I am here for it. Although I guess I'm also here for this these series ending, so I can take a nap. But you know, no, I'm kidding here. These games are more than enough to keep me awake, keep me excited, keep me interested. As we move on to game number 2 of this best of 5. Game number 1, of course, TY took in a tour de force. Didn't look like he was able to really get what he kind of wanted to get done. And then, okay, so we... Inu with the countdown twice over. But, anyway. As I was saying, yeah, it looked like TY was kind of stalling out with his push. Ragnarok doing some great counter damage, but there just came a point where 2-2 was done, +3 attack was done, and TY was attacking everywhere at once, and Ragnarok all of a sudden broke. TY found just that critical force that was able to kill Ragnarok off, do just enough that he was able to actually start killing the bases of Ragnarok, and that was it. But here we are, we're loaded into game number 2. And in the bottom left, in the red, representing Team Alpha X, it is Ragnarok. And in the upper right, in the red, for the Afrika Freaks, it's TY. So the question, of course, is what are we going to see on this map? It appears, I believe the rush distance here is rather long. I don't know how the timing works out yet. I don't know if anyone's posted that. I haven't tested it myself. But I don't know exactly how much these speed zones influence the rally between the natural to natural rally, the third to third rally, or the natural to third rally, which is of course the most important thing. But I'm interested to see what we're going to see here. So of course the Terran is most likely going to take this base as his third. Excuse me. Going to take this as his third base, which will allow for the direct rally in the parade. Because once again, you know, when you're able to take the your third base on the route of your rally, it allows you to get a parade push going that much nicer. And of course, because your parade push does defend your base, so that's rather nice. On the flip side, we should see the Zerg take this as their third base because once again, it's just further away. You want to take that linear third wherever possible. Also from just a drop perspective, because this is a scary position to try to defend drops from, because the Terran can just go high ground, low ground, high ground, low ground, etc., etc. But of course, once the fourth base is down in the bottom right, I feel like it's going to be rather difficult. The fifth base is where it gets a little bit questionable here, because there's no route to continue expanding away from the Terran. You take here, that's a little bit close. You take here, that's also rather close, especially with the speed zones here. Especially we do see the Terran now moving in to the right-hand side. Or we see the Terran just kind of continue on expanding onto that right-hand side. But I guess if a Terran does that, then, well, the Zerg just takes one of these two bases. Anyway, I'm interested to see what happens here. I've not, again, this is the first TVZ I have seen on this map. And, of course, it is going to take a little bit of time for both Terrans and Zergs to figure out expansion patterns, figure out really how to play this map optimally. I don't think this is going to be a mech map even as long as it is. Of course, TY will play mech on occasion, but that is actually wait a minute here. You want to talk about things? This is a fast command center. It went down before 3 minutes. The command center going down at 2:45. As he says, you know what? I'm just gonna go as greedy as possible. 1-1-1 into a fast third command center. And this is a command center that will be done before 4 minutes in the game. So we do have Hellions out on the way, 1-1-1 as well. It looks like we are going to go into bio here. Well, this tech lab looks like, so actually based off this position, this looks like this tech lab may not be for Stim, but instead we will see Banshee, or potentially see Banshee play once again. There we go. Yep, there we go. Banshee's on the way. And as much as I say, I don't know if this is a mech map. I mean, TY does like to mech on occasion. He is, of course, good friends with Special. And Special is of course, one of the connoisseurs of Terran mech. Even willing to play it against Protoss. Okay, the Reaper's not going to really be able to get much more done, but it will get a nice full scout off. Does see what is what. And, you know, Shinny Bomb, Ragnarok, this does look like it will be some sort of 2.5 base mute opening. Well, as I say that. No, I'm just looking at the timings wrong. So there we do. We do have 2 Evo chambers on the way here. And now we do we have the Hellions they're going to try to run in, but of course, with the wall here, Hellions will not be able to get done what they want. And this has of course meant that our Red Zerg has been able to skimp on the Zergling production for the time being. So do we have Banshee on the way, and it looks like there is a tech lab now on the way for this command center, or this barracks as well. So yeah, we are moving on into Bio 3 barracks as well, but man, this is, again, third base down. Third base will be down on location just at about 5 minutes, and this is just about the earliest possible third command center you can ever feasibly take. So we do have the Hellions moving around on the left-hand side. Banshee Cloak is just about done. I should say right-hand side, not left-hand side. Now these Hellions, they're going to be able to get in. They're going to get a couple drones once again. TY just finding the openings, and sure, it's only going to be 4 workers, 4 Hellions once again. Now we do have the 2 Banshees looking to move onto the map. Cloak is done. And actually, though, so we noticed last game, right, that the upgrades for the Terran and the Zerg finished at just about the exact same time. Here, of course, Ragnarok going for that very fast upgrade, far slower layer. And his upgrades are now a full 30-45 seconds ahead of the Terran player, which, of course, is going to give him all sorts of nice advantages as he moves on into the mid-game. So now we do have the Banshees running in. They will be able to get somebody done because, of course, 2 Banshees do 1-tap drones here. And now with the Queens, they are going to, well, the Queens will eventually be able to shoot this off if Banshees do want to stay in range. Okay, so 1 Banshee will go down. I need to figure this out. I didn't have a chance to last night. But death animations are just not showing up. We're just seeing units disappear more than anything else. But these Banshees are getting a whole lot done. 9 workers, total of 13 workers killed by TY early on in this game. So we have Burrow on the way. Okay, Burrow was canceled. That was just a misclick. Rather easy to do, actually, depending on what your hotkeys are. It's rather easy to accidentally get Burrow instead of something else. So now we do have 1-1 now done. Layer is done as well. Oh, the gas was canceled. Huh. I think for this style, you want at least 5 gas. But maybe not. I don't know, we're going to see what Ragnarok does with that. But he is just going for pure Zerglings. Pure Zergling vainly here as he looks to get something done across the map. But man, TY simultaneously take no. Actually, the queens are going to be able to find this drop rather nicely. So the medevac is going to actually, one of them is just barely not going to go down. But now we do have a nice circling run by now running on into the third base here of our Terran player. And of course, with 1-1 versus 0-0, the Zerglings are going to be able to get a nice surround here. And this is going to be rather nice for Ragnarok. He's going to be able to get a surround on these Hellions as well. But it looks like the surround of the Hellions, of course, is going to distract the Zerglings from the greater prize. As, 2 SCVs do go down at the moment, but that is not exactly what TY, or not what Ragnarok was hoping for. He was hoping for a lot more damage. But once again, we do see 2-2 halfway done, and the armory is only just now completed. It looks like TY kind of forgot that for a minute. And now we're going to have a really nice upgrade advantage here for Ragnarok for the time being, as he just steamrolls ahead to that late game, to getting Hive ASAP. We do have the Infestation Pit halfway done. We should see the Hive on the way before 9 minutes. And now we have Burr on the way. Yeah, so it looks like this is 5 gas. Ragnarok just content to not have that natural gas. Although again, I gotta imagine that's a mistake. I don't watch this style of ZVT enough to really tell you. But of course, the question, if he does end up taking the gas on his fourth base, that'll kind of be that tell. So now we just have more and more Banelings on the way. Burrow halfway done. And yeah, so we do see the Terran taking this base. It's taken it has taken it. Planetary Fortress is done. And now, okay, so 2-2 is just about started here for the Terran. 2-2 is just about done here for the Zerg. So Ragnarok has a really nice timing, where he could maybe get something done. Although, of course, it's going to be rather difficult for him to aggress into this nice tank line. What are we at? Are we on 8 total barracks? Yep, 8 barracks here. But, of course, this is not 8 racks all in. There is a 4th base. This is just the math. This is just what you need to be able to support 4 base economy. And TY is rich. Do not let yourself be fooled by that. Now the Banelings are running on creep in the speed up zone. That is not a fight that the Terran ever wants to take. But now we do have Banelings running in, try to see whether they can knock this planetary fortress out, and they will be successful in that endeavor, even if Ragnarok does trade off a decent amount of Banelings for it. So now that TY now stuck back onto 3 bases once again. Hive on the way. It's still 2-2 versus 1-1. So there will also be that wonderful 3-3 versus 2-2 timing as well. And yeah, plus 3 Banelings, plus 2 Banelings, they're pretty powerful, especially when the Terran does not have the armor to deal with it. And this creep spread is actually rather nice. TY has not done the best job of pushing it back in this game number 2. So it's going to be a while before he's able to get anywhere onto the heartland of the Zerg. Really do any sort of aggression. Sure, he's cleaning things up now, but now we have a massive Zergling run by right now running here onto the natural, onto the 3rd base of our Terran player. And these Widow Mines actually kind of in position to get something done, but not a whole lot. Now we do have the Zerglings on the left-hand side. They really, the main army of TY, of course, or I guess the main rally is not going to be able to get, is going to be able to clear this off. But now we do have a bunch of Zerglings. They have burrowed. They are now all ready for that nice Trader Banelings there, or Trader Widow Mines. Ragnarok doing a good job of leading those onto the Terran bio. And anyway, with the burrow, well, they're able to get a couple more SCVs, not a ton. But now we do have the army of the Zerg is now swarming. Nice splits on those Widow Mines. Once again, all the Widow Mines will go down. And now it is time for Ragnarok to go on the aggression once again. Now this Banshee, of course, this Banshee has still been alive this entire game, but this mineral line is now, well, it is sacrificed. It will not survive. More and more SCVs are going to go down. But we do have a nice Terran army on the left-hand side. We'll be able to take out this 6th base of Ragnarok, but I'm not sure that's exactly the trade that TY is looking for here. Sure, the 6th base is going to go down, but the question is whether he can get more now. Now he's going to be able to get on top of, what is that, the 5th base here of Ragnarok, but now Ragnarok has been able to go home. It is of course 2-2 versus 2-2. So there is that, but now there are just too many Zerglings here. Too many Zerglings to deal with, as TY trying to see what it can get done, dropping the high ground to attack the low ground. But now we do have Ragnarok doing a great job paying attention to that. They're going to be able to take out all of this here. And of course now the Banshee's just going to be able to reign supreme on this hatchery. This hatchery should not be allowed to get up. But now we do have the Zergling counterattack on the upper left-hand side. 3-3 is on the way. Of course, the repair is good. Only 3 workers going down. But now we have a run by into the natural, and the wall is down. So run by Zerglings into the natural, Zerglings into the 3rd, as TY now aggressing onto the 4th base of Ragnarok, this game is getting crazier. So now we do have banelings running in. Widow Mines are not quite burrowed, but now they are. None of the Widow Mines will get the banelings. Okay, that's a nice Widow Mine connection, but it looks like Ragnarok will be able to clean this up. And now with the massive run by 33 workers going down, and it seems like as the game stabilizes once again, as our game state resets, it appears that Ragnarok has found an incredible advantage here. 91 workers to the 44 workers of TY. 3-3 is now most of the way done, and TY has not even started 3-3 of his own. So of course, when we're looking at Bio, 3-3 is the tipping point. That is the point at which the Terran player really starts to get better than Mutiling Bane, or just Ling Bane for the most part. Now we do have the Zerglings once again running in on the right-hand side, and this is the one saving race for TY. He is on 5 bases. He does have planetary forces at those outlying bases, so this is just going to be rather difficult for our Terran player, or for our Zerg player to really get in and do some damage. It's going to require rather significant, not contribution, significant investment from him to be able to get anything done. But now we do have a Spire on the way down. Now, finally, a Spire on the way. We do have 3-3 just about done here. Actually, Carapace just finishing up now. And Ultralisks are on the way with their nice Ultralisk Carapace. So nice, Baneling's going to be able to get on top of these Widow Mines, kill them off. But this is a massive run by now, running on into the 3rd base, and TY just does not have enough to deal. I mean, sure, he's trying to get on top of this 5th base, but this 5th base will be allowed to get up. And actually, that's a cool Ultralisk skin. But anyway, the Widow Mines are actually going to be TY's saving grace here, even if 11 workers do go down. But now we do have Ragnarok on the final assault. He says, you know what, I have smashed you at every turn. I have turned the tide. I've turned the Terran tide, and now I'm going to come smashing. And there we have it. GG. Ragnarok taking game number 2. In a tour de force, to be honest. He looked good in that game. He looked absolutely incredible in that game number 2. "14 minutes of madness and mayhem and insanity." But at the end of the day, Ragnarok took it, and now we are left with a best of 3. Ragnarok versus TY. I do not know what the 3rd map will be, but we're going to get there soon. Alright, so we're going to get Oxide, and I'm excited to see how this one plays out as well. Really, I'm just excited to see how the new maps play out in general. Not going to lie. So once again, Oxide, it feels like there's going to be a fairly nice position that Terran's going to be able to take outside of what is most likely going to be the 3rd base of the Zerg, because there are some rocks there. Nice siege tank position, much like Nightshade. That was last season. Or, yeah, I guess last season, because we're not on the season for these maps as of yet. But anyway, so yeah, we will see, I think we're going to see some nice Terran aggression there outside of the rocks. Probably some siege tank shenanigans, as that makes sense to me. Because that was part of what made Nightshade ever so Terran favored in TBZ in the matchup. Although what I don't know is whether the siege tank is able to hit the hatchery from the other side of the rocks. Something we'll have to find out, as we are now loaded into game number 3. And here we are on the bottom left, in the red. For ITaX, it is Ragnarok. Otherwise known as Shinny Bomb, apparently. Because Bomb, Shinny Bomb. And in the upper right, in the blue, for the Afrika Freaks, it's TY. And now we did see a gas cancel here from Ragnarok into 17. So I don't necessarily know what the reasoning behind that is. Is he going to take his 17 hatch instead of 16? I think so. You know, I'm only Masters 3. All right, I'm only a Masters player. But whenever the only time I'm ever doing this, unless it's like a specific all-in, and I'm trying to get a fast 15 pool or something, is when I accidentally go up to 14 out of 14 on drones, and then I say, oh shoot, need to do a gas cancel, need to make sure that I get my timings done properly. But of course, these players are incredibly good, but that does not mean that they are impervious to mistakes. So I don't know if that was what Ragnarok was doing, or there again, it's just kind of some quirk to maybe make him get his natural down a little bit faster at the exchange of a little bit of efficiency because of how this map works out. So anyway. So, okay, so looking at this map, the natural is separated from any potential third. This third, I don't think you want to take at all. There's too many. The tank siege position, it's the triangular third. Too easy to drop high ground, low ground. Of course, this one, this is the more likely third, but once again, this is a nice Terran siege position here. I don't believe. I think that the siege tank would have to be where the rocks are to be able to get at the hatchery. But of course, the whole point of the tanks there is not even to shell away the hatchery necessarily. It is to allow for the bio to stem away to siege away uncontested. So I think this will be the third we're going to see, and I do expect to see some sort of tank push coming in here from TY to take advantage of the map geometry here. And of course, this is probably going to be the fourth base as well. As you just look, but of course, actually, this might end up being because there is a very direct route onto this fourth base from the prospective third base, or the aggressive third from our Terran here. So again, I'm just excited to see what we're going to see, how these players play this map again, because these maps are brand new. I'm sure they've started to practice on them at the moment. I mean, they do know enough about things to veto things, and yeah. This, of course, we are tied up 1-1. As you can see here, we do have potentially three more games remaining. Winner of this series goes on to play Parting in the grand finals in a best of 7 there. Loser, of course, will play Bunny in an uncasted third and fourth place match. Question is, what are we going to see from Parting here? This is 1-1-1 from Parting. Parting is not playing in this match. This is, in fact, TY. So we have a 1-on-1 coming here, and it looks like we're going to see some hellbat aggression now on the map for map number 3, and this makes a lot of sense. It is the circulation between the natural and the third is up and down ramps, and the third base is rather far away from the natural here. So TY, more so than on other maps, definitely has the opportunity to maybe get something done here with some sort of hellbat aggression. Now we do not see any sort of tech now coming from Ragnarok at the moment. Okay, there we go. Actually, yeah, this is more. There are 5 SCVs in this medevac. That is interesting. So now we do have the Hellions are going to find their way to the third base. They can say, oh, hey, there's a third base there. That is interesting. And now the Hellbats are morphing in. And we do have a bunch of I guess these SCVs are just to repair the medevacs. Extra healing on the medevacs here. Okay, so yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. That's rather cool. So we do have the healing of the medevac and the healing of these SCVs here, which is just going to make these Hellbats just last so much longer. And there we go. So that we do have first of these units now going down. And you know what? Despite that, this is a really nice concave here from the Zerg player, and I think he's going to be able to clean this up. Although, as I say that, the Hellbats, they're just not dying now. So we do have Zerglings going in once again, and the medevac will be forced back. And this just really not getting a whole lot done. I like the build. I think it's rather cool, but Hellbats just don't really work in this day and age. Zergs build enough queens, and there we have it. GG. Ragnarok taking game number 3. Yeah, to my knowledge, if this is anything, so I cast a version of this, the Super Standard, last night, and I believe a 3rd and 4th place match did happen, but it was uncasted, as well, they would happen at the same time, and I only have so much time in my day. Okay, there is not a 3rd and 4th place match for this series, only the winner's final. Good to know. Sushi, of course, the owner of Alpha X, our God, our savior. Oh, well, you know what? Cynical Death proving me wrong as well. Shows what I know. All right. Game number 4 will be on Romanticide. And this is the new black pink in terms of color, at least. There is so much pink and purple on this map. It's rather visually arresting at the very least. I have no idea how it's going to play out once again. I mean, TY has done 2-1, but that was kind of a gen call in Catharsis. It's a cool idea, but again, Hellbats 9 times out of 10, I don't think it never really seems to work unless, say, with a battle cruiser or something. As the Zerg at this point, you know, every single game they're going up to 7-8 queens. And you know, 7-8 queens plus the Ling rally. Well, you get a concave, and there's just too much bulk, too much clout there for the Hellbats to really get a whole lot done, unless they're really able to get on top of those queens. And of course, well, Hellbats are slow, and when you have interfering Zerglings in the middle of things, well, that just makes it even harder for them to get on top. Stay safe indeed, Kashim. Thank you for that. And now we do have our game number 4 loaded in. Ragnarok with that 2-1 lead. And here we are in the bottom right, in the red, up 2-1 in this best of 5. It's Shinny Bomb. Otherwise known as Ragnarok, the end of days. And perhaps this will be the end of TY's day here. As, well, we are on match point in the upper left, in the blue. His tournament life on the line in this little show match here. It's TY. I mean, you say that, Catharsis, TY has a really good win rate against TY at the moment. To my memory, I think I've only seen Parting beat TY once, and that was when Parting was getting ready to play stats, I think, the next day. And this was an online cup, so TY was very clearly hiding some builds. Yeah, someone check on Parting's stream, see what he's up to. Is he streaming right now? Actually, he is not. So yeah, we don't necessarily know what he's up to. But yeah, we do have a standard opener coming here from both players. Once again. And man, look at how pink this map is. It's so pink. It's so pink. And I'm not complaining. This is a visually arresting map. In fact, it is the death of romance or something. Or the death of Romans. On Romanticide. But now we do have a couple Zerglings now moving on to the map here. And, you know, as I said, oh yes, Ragnarok standard opener. Well, not exactly, because I apparently did not pay too close enough attention, as this is pool first. Which means that Ragnarok now, he's going to be able to move around, avoid this Reaper that's now on the map, and do what he can to cancel this command center. Ragnarok looking for a gut punch here in this game number 4, looking to send TY packing with some nice early aggression. Now, of course, the Zerglings, they're not even going to try. They're going to get on into the main base, and the wall is down, and the Reaper's going to be forced to return home immediately. And now we do have the Zerglings. They will be able to get on top of this reactor post-haste, which, of course, means less Hellions. So now there are Marines on the way, and that is the nice thing that Ragnarok or TY has going for him here. But, of course, these are only for Zerglings. They won't be able to take care of everything, and this command center will be, of course, only be delayed, will not be killed. But, of course, this is significant mining time loss. The reactor going down. And, yeah. This is some good damage here from this, well, 6 Marine hit squad. Actually, 2 SCVs going down as well. Grand total of 3? Yeah, 3 total SCVs going down here. And now we have 1-1-1 coming up from TY behind this as he tries to see what he can do to get back into this game. Because that's some nice damage coming from our red Zerg player. Now, behind this, of course, I don't know what we're going to see. So we do not have a 3rd hatchery on the way as of yet, but we also don't see the makings of 2 base Spire. Please, Harmonix, no balance whining in my chat. Whether or not they make it as a result of just being gods or a result of imbalance or a little bit of both, that's neither here nor there. what is here and there, of course, is the fact that we are seeing some incredible uh, games from Parting, from TY, from Bunny, from Ragnarok. And actually, Ragnarok looks really, really well situated to take this game number 4 and move on into the final. So it will be Roach aggression behind this. I think we're going to see... So the Lair and the Roach Warren are not exactly timed up as well as Ragnarok would like. And we are going to see battle cruisers behind this as well. So I think this actually works out rather in Ragnarok's favor. How many queens do we have? 5 total queens. I think we're probably going to see some more eventually. And now with Zergling, scouting Zergling going to move across the map. Try to see what he can see. But of course won't be able to see a whole hell of a lot. So now we have Banshees on the way. But I guess this is a safety Banshee that will get canceled in favor of a battle cruiser, a cattle bruiser rather soon. So we go, cattle bruiser on the way. And I feel like this Roach Warren was just a safety Roach Warren. Was it canceled? Okay, the Roach Warren was canceled. Now into this we have Mutiling Bane behind. You know what? I really liked the idea of, okay, just getting 8 roaches moving across the map. When the battle cruiser teleports on top of you, you just go and you move your roaches on into the natural and just kill all the workers. I liked that idea, but that of course with the Roach Warren now dead, well, that idea is not much of an idea anymore. And it looks like TY wants to go for mech here on this map number 4 on Romanticide here. And I can't see I hate it. I mean, this is it's pretty free, free 3 bases. Pretty easy to get the 4th base as well. And of course, yeah, we do see that double gas there in the natural. We do see the extra factories added on now as well. And with Yamato on top of things, well, actually, so Yamato was started and then canceled. Interesting, I guess because it was scouted. Although I don't think of Yamato as something that is dependent on being unscouted to be successful here. But now we do have Hellions now on into the 3rd base. They're going to be able to get 3 workers. And now with the battle cruiser just about out, first of all, it's going to be able to take care of this Overseer. And then we're going to see it teleport across the map. Purple everywhere indeed. Now this battle cruiser looks like it's going to move its way across the map. We're not going to see the teleport, which of course means the battle cruiser will be able to teleport out. And we do have a Spire now done. Ragnarok not really building anything out of it yet. Now we have 8 mutas on the way. And 8 mutas, well, okay, some mutas are fine against 1 battle cruiser. It becomes a little bit iffy when you're dealing with 2 to 3. And is Ragnarok aware that this is mech? He's gotta, right? I mean, he saw the factories building. But it looks like he wants to go into Mutiling Bane, something like that, off of this. When it's battlecruiser mech, what you really like to see is kind of that rogue style, where he overbuilds corruptors, and then just maxes out on Roach Ravager and says, "Hey, come at me, bro. I'm gonna just go bust through you." Especially when when Ragnarok is coming off the early, this early advantage that he has found for himself. Now we do have 2 battlecruisers moving across the map, and 8 mutas do not fight well against 2 battlecruisers at all. The armor is so high that makes life rather difficult. So now, of course, Ragnarok does see this. He does see the battlecruiser situation, and his response is to keep building workers. And I don't like this. I think these battlecruisers are primed to really actually get a significant amount of damage done here. But you know, that is a decent. It is 7 queen. Or it is 6 queen, and it is a decent amount of mutas. There is a Spore as well, and with the lack of Yamato, well, maybe Ragnarok knows this game. Well, I should say maybe Ragnarok definitely knows this game better than I do. So now we do have the queens pushing the battlecruisers back once again, and Yamato has been started. So I wonder if TY thought he had Yamato and canceled it, or whether this is just a mind game upon mind game upon mind game. Now we are moving into kind of a classic mech behind this. We see Hellions on the way. We do see tanks on the way. And this is just Lingbane. We have Bailing Speed. We do not. It has not been started. So Ragnarok's ability to be aggressive here with this Mutiling Bane as he would like, well, it's not really going to be there for the time being. And, you know, the longer... I really don't... You know what? The math really, the way it works, okay, when you're dealing with Mutiling Bane, it's fine as long as the Terran is not allowed to get above 150 supply. That's kind of the rule. But now that we have this Terran at 150 supply, it gets a whole hell of a lot scarier here, as really Ragnarok has not been able to put any sort of aggression on the map whatsoever. And with these three battle cruisers with Thor's on the way as well, this doesn't feel good for Ragnarok. It just doesn't feel like what he's looking for now. Widowmine's scattered across the map as well. And sure, he's got a nice economy. He's able to get this rich Vespene gas, this rich Vespene base for his 5th, and that's nice. Don't get me wrong, but he's not really able to prevent the Terran from getting everything he wants out of this map. And once again, I much prefer the style when dealing with this style of mech in particular, where you get about 12 corruptors, 12 to 14 corruptors, and you just max out on Roach Ravager, and you pile drive through the Terran opponent. But now we have Ragnarok getting ready to move on into Hive behind this, and I do like this. Of course, Hive is just absolutely necessary when dealing with massive amounts of Terran mech. But now he's going to be able to jump on top of these Thors, and with only 2 Thors here, the magic boxes are going to be good. Thors are just going to go down to these +2 mutas rather easily. But now we do have battle cruisers now on the left-hand side of the map, and 3 battle cruisers do a scary army make, and the mutas are now going to be forced home. At which point we just see the battle cruisers teleport elsewhere. And even then, well, 3 battle cruisers are a scary army for mutas to fight. Now we do have the queens moving in, the mutas now moving in as well. We do see triple Yamato. We're going to try to take this Hive out. They will not be successful, of course, because transfuses are a thing. And now the battle cruisers do get out. They go home. They will be repaired once again. Now TY kind of stuck at that 175 supply mark. That 175 supply high water mark, and now the lair is just now getting started. Feels a little bit late, but the mutas is now going on the other side of the map, and of course you want to clump the mutas up to kill the Widowmines. You want to magic box the mutas to kill the Thors, and together they kind of struggle a little. So now we do have Baneling. We do have Baneling speed here. So Ragnarok now is starting to build a bank. He is maybe in a position where he's going to be able to start rolling in and doing some damage. And TY is only on four bases. 5th command center is only just now being done, only just now on the way. That being said, the Ragnarok +2 is not done. There are not a lot of tanks in this position, so it looks like Ragnarok should just be able to bust this planetary down rather easily. And there we go, the planetary rolling down. Actually able to knock out a decent amount of the these Hellions as well. TY now dropped down to 3 bases, but of course, three bases going down. But the army is still scary here. As now we do have the mutas sharking in once again. Nice Widowmine shot. Of course, every time the mutas take a Widowmine shot, they make it just that much harder to deal with the Thors that are on the ground. As we do see the main base now floating onto the 4th base of TY. TY says, you know what, my main base, I've kind of mined out. There's very little minerals here. I've muled that a lot. You know, let's move it on to the 4th. Of course, this is a 4th base that will not be a planetary, so that is a little bit less defensible. And behind this, we do see Ragnarok going into Ultralisks here. So we have Baneling's now running in once again, and of course this will be lifted. But now we have the mutas; they're just going to target this down. And these are +2 mutas. Now Baneling's running on top of everything as well. Banelings don't do all that well against Thors, that's for sure. But the 3rd base goes down once again. 13 workers go down. And, you know, as much as say, hey, Ragnarok, you know, I don't really like this all that much. I think you haven't been aggressive enough. Well, when you have this amount of mutas, and actually he's going to be able to get +2 attack as well. So Ragnarok doing a great job of finding his openings. And when you have 28 mutas, when you only lose 11 mutas over the course of the game, well, that's a pretty good deal. Now we do have TY with only 3 total command centers. 56 Banelings on the way. Ragnarok taking full advantage of that rich Vespene geyser. As now the question is, can he deal with the army of TY? That's the scary thing. As Ragnarok, he's going to look to try to see what he can do to knock out this. Oh, but this is a lot of Thors. I don't care how well you magic box when you have that many Thors with +1. Well, that is a scary thing indeed. As it's 3 Thor shots kill a muta, or of course 3 Thors kill a muta. So with 5 total Thors that we have here, it's going to be rather difficult magic box. But the muta say, you know what? I'm just going to attack onto the left-hand side. I'm going to make it so, well, you can't really do what you want to get done here. I'm going to force you to go absolutely all in. I'm even okay losing this base, to be totally honest, as the Zerglings do run back. But now we do have masses of Zergling, Baneling, trying to see what they can do. But this is really just not a whole lot. Ragnarok seems to be larva starved, although he does have 12 larvae. waiting to get things done. As now more and more and more SCVs go down, and TY is running out of money. He's not, however, running out of army quite yet. With these battle cruisers, with these stores, with everything else, we do now have Ultralisks on the way. Of course, these are only 2-2 Ultralisks. We do not have chitinous plating done as of yet. And now the TY only on one command center, or one orbital, and one planetary. So TY rapidly running out of money in this game. And now we do have him moving in once again, and he will be able to, well, not supply block, but that is a decent amount of overlords going down. But now we do have the mutas, the banelings, all getting ready to crash in. There's only one tank, so these zerglings, the ground army of TY should be, or of Ragnarok, should be able to get in rather easily. But of course, it looks like Ragnarok is waiting patiently for that chitinous to come to fruition. But now we do have zerglings, banelings running in just a small portion of the army, but then one Ultralisk as well. And it's Ultralisk, well, you know what? If he's able to get on top of these Thor's piecemeal, that's going to be rather nice. But we do have mutas dying in an instant. All the mutas going down post-haste. And so there are Thors still available, and it feels like TY just barely has enough. He has the army, even if he does not have the economy. As now it's 50 army supply to the 86 of our Terran player. Now we have Ultras going in. They are going to be able to knock out these Thors. Actually, not even going to be able to knock out these Thors. And, well, with these cyclones here too, these Ultralisks are just paper. And now, okay, of course, we do have the big story here. Of course, is the battle cruisers. They reign supreme in this game. And now Shinibom, Ragnarok, only on 62 workers. He's lost 15 workers thus far in this push, but more so as well. But really, more so over the course of this push. He's now only on 4 bases. And it feels like he's just struggling to get the army he needs to get to. And now with the Widow Mines here, well, the Widow Mines are going to be able to take everything out. But now the Corruptors are going to be able to get on top of the, well, really the air army here, which gives license for the ground army to get now reign supreme here for Ragnarok. Because we're going to see more and more, well, I was going to say more and more stuff rolling in, but Ragnarok just doesn't have a whole lot. The Muta's doing a good job of killing this Thor, just barely, but the Thor will survive. And it feels like, well, it feels like TY has found his opening. The army is just too daggone scary. Well, Ragnarok just running out of money as he's down on 54 workers, and TY, through the power of mules and the power of a scary mech army, just barely has enough. Especially with this nice, tasty SCV pull to keep this Thor repaired. And this Thor with 13 kills, Thor just not dying. But now with 2 Ultralisks on it, the Thor should go down. But trading a Thor for an Ultra is absolutely worth here, as I think the battle cruisers have gone down as well. So only no battle cruisers left, just battle mech here. And has Ragnarok held? TY behind this, he was able to reestablish his reestablish a third base mining. There we have it. GG. We're going to game number 5. TY barely having enough. Yep, TY, the master of macro play. That does not look like a game that he should have won, but won it he did. He does not give a damn about what I have to say about things. Losing my main, I don't care. Losing my natural, I don't care. Losing my 4th base, I don't care. When I have a bunch of Thors, that is all that matters. And really, all that was that one fight where the mutas ran in. They were not boxed quite enough. And 50 supply from Ragnarok died in an instant. And of course, allowed TY to start snowballing through and just finally get to that point where he was able to crush through the Zerg. And of course, once you're there, you kind of need some pretty powerful units from the Zerg to be able to take those fights. And you don't, of course, those are the units with the longest build time in the game in the Zerg arsenal. And so you just don't necessarily have time for that. So now we are on to game number 5, which means we are back onto the old maps. Game number 5 will be on Pillars of Gold. And according to Vani, at least this is a Terran favored map. Now, I don't necessarily know, although there are some nice push positions with the rocks. But of course, hallmarks of this map are that wide open third on both sides, rather difficult to take for either race. But yeah, we're on game number 5, Ragnarok versus TY. TY making a really nice comeback in that game number 4. In a nice, long, drawn-out game. So while we're here, while we are sitting here waiting for this game number 5 to happen, well, we have, I should take the time to ping the fact that if you want to support this tournament, because it's a pretty cool tournament, we got some great players here, head on over to the Match Arena page, use code AXCOM127, I believe, Yeah, 171, not 127, to contribute 50 cents to the prize pool. Of course, because these players deserve everything. And if you say, hey, look, these games have been rather cool, I want the replays, you can buy those for $5. You can also buy some rather cool ITaX swag. You can buy a t-shirt, you can buy a hoodie, you can buy their jerseys, you can tip your caster. You can do all these things on the Match Arena page. Go on and take a look. But you know what? Even more exciting than pinging the fact that these players maybe get a little bit more money is the fact that we're loaded into game number 5. And here we are in the upper right, in the red for ITaX. It is Ragnarok. And in the bottom left, in the blue, for free freaks, there's no babying this man. It's TY. So we do see Ragnarok going for that nice, 16 hatch once again. He says, you know what? I don't feel like I got enough done with that early pool. He threw it out once a series, maybe. And, he was trying to get the cheap win last game. He did not get it. And that's kind of actually interesting here, as I don't think it was because of the early pool. I think the early pool got absolutely what it needed to get done. It was much more the fact that Ragnarok lost 28 mutas in an instant. And that's when that mutiling bane style gets scary, when we talk about getting the Terran getting over 150 supply. Because that generally means that there are enough Thors, there are enough Widowmines, that it is just, I'm not going to say impossible, because I've definitely seen it work, especially players like Cyril definitely make those engagements work. But it gets exponentially more difficult for the Zerg to take the engagements when the Terran is able to get up to those nice heavy supply numbers where they have 5 Thors, 6 Thors, 7 Thors, 8 Thors, a nice bit of Hellbats on the ground. Yeah, you know what? Ever since the Banelings have been nerfed twice, and now they only do 17 damage to non-light versus 20. I agree. I don't think it's all that great. But it is, of course, we do have players going for it. There's a reason behind this. Of course, Ragnarok is a far better player than I. Far be it for me to tell him, hey, your playstyle is bad. I'd much rather try to figure out exactly why he's going for that. But again, when we see that, we do see players transition a little bit more. And I think that what I've also liked to see in that game is his +2 attack was rather late. Which, of course, meant his +3 attack was rather late. So those ultralists that he was going into, well, plus 2/2 ultralists, 2/4 ultras effectively, are not nearly as strong as 3/5 ultras. So that is something. But honestly, ultralists are not good against Thors at all. When Thors just kind of clump up, and Thors, of course, I think someone did the math, and upgraded Thors, they have more DPS than a Dark Templar, and of course they're 500 HP as well. I think it's 500 HP, maybe 300. Anyway, they have a decent health pool as well, so rather difficult to deal with. So we have a pause coming in here for Shinny for Ragnarok. Probably take time to take stock of how the game is going. So what do we got? We have a third base now down. We're not going to see 2-base Muta here. We may see Muta play, but it's not going to be 2-base. This, of course, is one of the maps that is rather good for that Hydra Lurker style. That we've seen Raynor, used to such great effect. Alright, so we're ready to go, but waiting for Inu to resume, because this is, of course, a refereed game. And there we have it on the way. Game has started up once again. And TY, once again, going for that rather quick third command stream. He says, I believe I have utmost confidence in myself in a macro game. So that is what he will do, as we do have that third command center on the way. Again, before 3 minutes, 1-1-1 as well. And we're just going to see Hellions behind this. Where's that starport, though? Starport, okay, yeah, starport right there. And this will not be a Banshee play, I don't think, because we do not see a tech lab now on the barracks, even if we do see the barracks, right next to the starport here. And I guess we're going to see some drop play then, as we don't see that tech lab going down. I don't think this is going to be Banshee play. Oh, okay, so it will be a... We will see a Fusion Corp. We will see Battlecruiser play once again. There we do have that tech lab going down. The question is whether TY is going to play mech or he's going to play bio behind this. So the Reaper's going to get on into the natural, see what he can get. Really, okay, again, this is just the sacrifice for the follow-up scout. So we do see... Okay, there we go. It is going to be mech once again for TY. That appears to be TY's... Well, I'm not going to say his favorite style of play, but it appears to be something that he likes on this map. And this is a decent map for mech. When you take the triangular third with the rocks and everything, it can be difficult for the Zerg to aggress and to get what he wants done. And the question is, anything else? What is Ragnarok going to do in this game to try to make sure that he is he's going to have a better outcome than last time, because we are going to see a similar game coming in from our Terran player, as we do see that battle cruiser on the way. No Yamato on the way as of yet. And with the lack of an overlord on the left-hand side, well, Ragnarok has not seen a lot. He does see the gas, and this is important. So really, just from knowing the gas time here, this should tell him that he's going for mech regardless. But he doesn't know it's battlecruiser yet, and that is kind of an important thing to know. Although I guess the hold is the hold. You get up to 6-7 queens, you get a spore in every base, and that's just something you kind of do anyways. As we have spores in the main and the natural. I would like to see one in the third. Oh yeah, there's one in the third as well. And then we have Yamato on the way as well. So now once again, we do have these Hellions running in, and he's going to get three SCVs or 3 drones this time, not the 4. And actually, nice job from Ragnarok, actually blocking these Hellions out. And the 4 Hellions, they're going to go in. They're not going to be able to get anything done. And this is interesting from TY here. We see a lot of players hang around, the 8 Hellions as a clump, 7 Hellions as a clump, whatever the case may be. But no, that is not the Ragnarok. That is not the TY style. He said, you know what, I would much rather go, and I sent a couple to maybe do some damage, but I want to have that defense at home. And now we do have the battlecruiser now on into the natural. It did teleport in this time, so it will not be able to get out for quite a while. But there is enough dead airspace here that it makes life rather difficult. But now we do have the Hellions. They're trying to get on into the third base, see what they can get done. Of course, it takes 3 Hellion shots to kill a drone, so nothing will go down. Well, 6 workers go down at the moment, as Ragnarok really not pulling the workers with any type of speed. Actually taking the time to transfuse a drone, because of course drones are important. And 10 workers have gone down thus far, 13 workers have gone down thus far as a result of this aggression, and that is more than Ragnarok wants to deal with. You really don't want to lose all that many workers to this nice TY aggression coming in here. And behind this, we do have 1-1. We do have Baneling speed. We do have a knight. We do have a. Actually, wow, they was able to Yamato down. He did the math. The fourth going down without a cancel, and then we have Hellions once again. 4 Hellions here. They're going to try to get behind the mineral line, but these Zerglings will be able to surround them, and no more drones will go down. So that's nice. But behind this, TY has been able to establish his third rather easily. That's never mind. That's an eBay. I mean, he's 4th on the way as well. So his 4th is going to be done in mining just around the same time that Ragnarok's 4th base as well. And of course, that's always something rather nice for the Terran player. And again, we do have Ragnarok going to Mutiling Bane against mech, and I just don't know how much I like that. Again, it's curious thing. I don't think it's. I agree. I don't think it's all that great against mech, especially when you've taken 13 drones worth of damage. Sure, it might work if you come into the mid game with an advantage against the Terran. Even if you come in equal and you're able to outscale the Terran that much faster, you're able to start just kind of running Banelings on into things. Mutas on into things. But when there are 3 battle cruisers, when there's Widow Mines, when there's tanks, when there are Thors, when there are all these things, it doesn't feel all that great. Now that being said, there are opportunities. So the Mutas now they're going to fly in. They will find 2 battle cruisers for their troubles, and that's not exactly something you want to deal with at all. But they will find this 4th base. They will be able to deny this missile turret for the time being. And they're going to find a couple Widow Mines and a Yamato, and that is a bunch of Mutas going down. 4 Mutas going down just like that with nothing getting done. Now the 4th is done. 5th base is on the way here. So Ragnarok really only able to stay 1 base. Well, base and a half ahead of his opponent. But now it looks like Ragnarok says, you know what, I don't like the way this played last game, or maybe it's just this map. We do see him going on into Hydras behind this +1 range as well. And I think we're going to see some Hydra Lurker Viper here. And once again, I don't see anything to really deal with the... deal well I should say, with these battle cruisers. Mutas don't deal with them all that well. Hydras don't deal with them all that well. And again, it's too late now. But I would have loved to see that nice Corruptor, a nice Widowmine shot once again. As more and more Mutas find themselves getting shaved up. But now, okay, now we have the Corruptors on the way. And it seems like Ragnarok is taking this a little bit more seriously. He says, you know what? The battle cruisers were kind of what the bane of my existence last game. I know TY is just going to commit hard to Thors here. I think I'm just going to try to tech swap him. See if I can play into my proclivity, into my my playstyle from last game and get something done a little bit different. So now we do have these battle cruisers that are going to find their way across the map. Going to try to do what they can. And of course, the Mutas don't fight here all that well, but we do see some nice Yamato cannons here. And the Corruptors are going to go down. Corruptors coming in piecemeal, and that's kind of not exactly what you want, as they will get Yamato at piecemeal. Now we do have them teleporting home. And of course, 4 bases for TY are there rather easily. TY, wow. Where did that happen? TY now finds himself up 40 total army supply. And again, the TY, he's got good macro. He's up 50 supply, and the Zerg always kind of wants to be ahead in supply compared to the meching Terran, and that's not the situation here whatsoever. So now we do have Corruptors on the field. We do have Hydras now on the way. But I don't think that is exactly what... I just don't think that we're going to see enough. We're seeing enough here from Ragnarok. And sure, we do have Hydras now moving across the map. We do have Hydra speed on the way, but, I mean, what's he going to do? I mean, there are still this wonderful thing called a Hellion, and Hydras are light units, and now TY, he's maxed out because I'm ready to go. Time to go on the aggressive here. Now, Vipers are not quite out yet. I mean, they're on their way, but even when they're out, they're not going to have the nice, they're not going to have Abduct, they're not going to have Harpoon quite ready. So now we do have the Hellions now moving on a third base. You're going to start killing off the workers immediately, and there's going to be a Zergling run by now onto this potential 5th base of our Terran player. But nice splits here from TY, and now Ragnarok, he finds himself maxed out, but with what army? It's Hydraling Bane, and that is theoretically good against this army here, but this is 1-1 mech, and well, the Thors, they're just going to target down this hatchery with not a whole lot of difficulty. So one Thor will go down rather immediately, and this run by, of course, was cleaned up. So now we do see Battle Mech moving on onto the right hand side, as the Thor army is going to move on to the left, and these Banelings, they're trying to see what they can get done. Really, the Banelings just want to connect with the Hellions, and they will be able to do so. Meanwhile, the Corruptors on the ground, they will be able to force the battle cruisers back outside of Simiyato, and 11 workers going down. This battle mech on the right-hand side will not be able to kill the base, but will be able to kill 11 workers. And, you know, this went a little bit better for Ragnarok than I expected, but now the Cyclones have found the Corruptors, and, well, those are going to be some dead Corruptors. Now, we do have a Lurker Den on the way, but I don't know, I just feel it's too late. Ragnarok is down 20 army supply. He does not have the upgrades he necessarily wants or needs. Do we have the Vipers on the map? We still do have the Vipers. But now with Battle Mech here, nice splits from TY as the Widowmines are going down, and most of these Banelings will get targeted down. And once again, TY is in a great situation here. He's going to be able to just mass lock onto this the hatchery. The hatchery will just go down just like that. Toot sweet. And nice Baneling shot as well. Although nice splits from Ragnarok, making sure only one Hydra for one Widowmine. But TY, he's on 5 bases. The Planetary is now underway, and it is never a great situation when the Terran is going mech. The Terran has been allowed to get allowed to expand ahead of you. And now we do have tanks behind this, and tanks are pretty daggone good against Hydra Lurker Viper. But if you listen to Reddit, of course, Hydra Lurker Viper is unbeatable against Terrans. So this is maybe this means that Ragnarok will win regardless. Although when you have massive amounts of tanks, don't really know. I think it's still pretty daggone good. Tanks, of course, do outrange Lurkers. So without enough Vipers, well, the tanks are pretty good. Of course, with the Vipers out, well, that's going to... So now we have the tank CGF once again. Not really going to get the volleys that they would like, but the Lurker's going to find themselves on the high ground. And we do have only Lurker range on the way. Lurker burrow speed is not done quite yet. There we go. Now it's on the way. So we have the tank siege up once again, and now with this... that's an interesting sound coming out from somewhere. But now with the lurkers, once again, they will move. They will try to see what they can get done. But the tanks are here, and that's a nice blinding cloud. So now we have the lurkers. They're going to abduct all of these tanks into the Hydra Lurker Viper, and this is a massacre. Of course, the tank going to be yoinked in once again, and now we're starting to see some insane cost effectiveness coming in from our Zerg player as he looks to turtle and come out of this game with an advantage. Moving on into the finals. We're going to see another long game. So, of course, the lurkers are there. And, you know, Hydras, or well, I should say, Cyclones, well, Hellions, not all that great against lurker play here. But now we do have a scan going in. Lurker's going to try to go in, but they will just get targeted down immediately. And some nice abducts here coming from the Vipers, but I don't know if that's exactly the trade that our Zerg player was looking for, as there is still a tank alive. There is still a little bit of battle mech alive. And they will be able to kill all this up. And now he's going to find more and more tanks. But the second line of siege tanks is here. And TY is crushing through. And I don't think there's just enough. I mean, sure, Hydra Lurker Viper is rather good. It is cost effective. But, well, you can't run into tanks. You cannot do that. As now Ragnarok, once again, he's going to find his position on the right, or TY is going to find his position on the right-hand side, going to look to knock out this base. Once again, there we have it. GG TY moving on to the finals. A massacre indeed. I'm awake. So now we do have Ragnarok versus Parting on into the finals. Mech is a pretty strong thing. Especially, of course, when you, well, especially when you allow the Terran to take that quick of a fourth base on location that easily. And when you lose 13 workers early, then try to go into Mutiling Bane, and that's just really not something that works all that well. You need to have a massive economy for that. But now we have Parting TY. It's going to be a best of 7. Basic says A. Welcome, Basic. I think I saw you in my, when I was doing the Exxon Cup last night, so glad to see you on, watching on this platform as well. You missed some great games already. TY Ragnarok went 2-5 games. Of course, Parting did 3-0 Bunny, as it kind of expected. So we do have vetoes underway. How's everyone's day going? Hope you're been enjoying the games thus far. Well, of course, I should take the time right now to while we're sitting here waiting for vetoes to happen. Vetoes have happened. Map picks have happened. Actually, it looks like we're going to go to a break. That's nice. So I'm actually going to take that opportunity to break as well. But before I do that, go to Matcherino page. It's in the About Me. Use code AXCOM171 to donate 50 cents towards the tournament for free. But with that, 3-minute break. I'll be back. All right, we're back about 20 seconds earlier. 20 seconds earlier than anticipated because our players are ready. The 3-minute break is done. We're about ready to go on to the grand finals. We're just waiting for TY to accept the invite. And we're ready to go from there. Alrighty then, we are loaded in, or I shouldn't say we're loaded in. Game number 1, we're in the lobby for game number 1. It will be on Death Aura. We, of course, potentially will see all 7 maps. Also of the current map pool, which means we will see all the new maps should we go to game 7. And that's exciting. Man, I don't know what it is about Alpha X, but man, Alpha X has a lot of PvT. And I'm not complaining. It's a great opportunity for me to learn more about the matchup. A matchup that I don't play, so I understand it. I know a little less about it than any sort of the Zerg-based matchups here. So the fact that I have cast a lot of PvT for Alpha X is a nice thing. It allows me to expand my knowledge just a little, especially when it's, parting and innovation and TY and these top-level players. But that being said, it looks like we're just waiting for the ready go from both players. And we will move on into map number 1 in a second. I just had OSC reach out to me. They say, "Hey, do you want to cast something? You want to cast something on Sunday?" I'm just gonna send them a picture of my casting schedule for Sunday. Oh no! StarCraft crashed. That is unfortunate. My game crashed as we were loading in. So I'm going to go back and see whether they are going to remake for me. If not, we're going to miss out on game number 1, and that is most unfortunate. Most unfortunate indeed. Yeah, yeah, I have, well, I got some breaks there, but yeah, it's, yeah, I got a 12-hour cast Sunday. I got like a 12-hour cast. I got like an 8-hour cast Saturday. I had an 8-hour cast yesterday. This weekend is going to be crazy. I will have no voice by Sunday. So yeah, I'm hoping they notice that I'm not in there. I'm hoping they remake. Yeah, so well, while I wait to see whether that happens, I'm really sorry about that, but StarCraft just blinked out of existence. And that is most unfortunate. Yeah, so we have the King of Battles qualifier. Qualifiers are going to be all through this weekend. So King of Battles is a $30,000 tournament sponsored by Kubo, which is a Chinese betting site, and Alpha X, and maybe some other sponsors as well. And I will be running one of the 2 English streams for all 4 of those qualifiers. So at 6 a.m. tomorrow, I will be live on my channel, twitch.tv/Beowulf, on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Beowulf, starting with that for Korean qualifier number 1. Okay, so I joined the party all of a sudden. But yeah, it looks like the game is still going on, so we're just going to miss out on that. That is rather unfortunate. I am incredibly sorry. Nothing much I can do about that. Yeah, so on that TL link, there should be a link to the qualifiers. Yeah, so for qualifier number 1, which is what I'm going to be doing tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Eastern Time, we're going to have a bunch of... Zest is in there. Parting is in there. Cure is in there. Patience is in there. Tasia is in there. SOS is in there. DRG is in there. Stats is in there. Time is in there. Armani's in there. Dream is in it. Trap is in it. Bunny's in there, Nightmare's in there, Hurricane's in there, Beyond is in there, Billowy's in there, Bomber's in there, Solar's in there, Creator, Percival. All these players are going to be in that number 1. I believe they're signed up for the qualifier number 2 as well. And again, so it's going to be me and Creighton Olsen. Creighton Olsen's going to be on his Twitch stream. I'm going to be on my Twitch stream. Creighton Olsen and Beowulf, respectively. Korean qualifier number 2 will be Sunday at 6 a.m. And we're going to see some of the similar players. Pretty much everyone is signed up for both Parting, Cure, Dream, Stats. Maru is in there. I don't know if I saw Maru in number 1. Gemini, or Trap's number 1 fan is going to go in there. And actually, the way brackets are at the moment, looks like he may even play Trap. So this, I don't know the main event. I will not be doing the main event. All right. Yeah. So I will not be doing the main event. I will only be doing the qualifiers. The main event, of course, will be cast by Rushy and Kozan. I don't know if there's a B stream. So we're entering the lobby. I think it's happening. Okay. All right. So then, talking about this thing a little bit more. We had there are, of course, other qualifiers as well. So on Saturday, let me actually look at my casting schedule. On Saturday is going to be the North American qualifier. That's running at 3 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to see some cool players there. I expect to see probably Scarlet Neeb special, all these players. Yeah, there we go. So let's pull that one up, see who's up there as we are entering the lobby. So we're sitting here. StarCraft has decided to be mean to me, but for the North American qualifier, we have Skillis, Asuna, Goblin. This looks like a bunch of European players. Special, Silky, Cham, Bly, Mana, Euthermal, Avila, Hydra. Yep, I am excited. We're just trying to get into... Yeah. Alright, hopefully this will let me into the lobby now. There we go. Okay, finally getting in. Nice. Oh, it looks like they did cancel game number 1. Took them a... Yeah, so great. We missed nothing whatsoever. Most excellent. All right, so game number 1 will be on Death Aura. Hopefully StarCraft does not crash on me this time. Sorry for the delay, everyone. These things happen. But luckily, it's all good because they waited for me, and I thank them from the bottom of my heart. So now we have Parting, we have TY, we are loading into game number 1. It will be on Death Aura, and I'm excited to see what type of shenanigans these two players are going to throw at each other in this best of 7. I think the most we've seen them play against each other recently is a best of 5. Of course, TY has had the upper hand in these extended series against Parting. Does not mean that that is what's going to happen for forever, though, as we are now loaded into game number 1. And in the upper left, in the red, representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, it's Parting. And in the bottom right, in the blue, for the Afrika Freaks, it's TY. Alrighty then, what are we going to see here? What type of shenaniganry are we going to see from both players? Of course, you know, the thing we're always watching in this nice, fancy PvT matchup is what is our gas? More importantly, are we going to see a second gas before a Cybercore? And now we do see an SCV taking a rather roundabout scouting path. But of course, I guess this is to deal with the common-ish proxy location. So we do see a second gas here before Cybercore. But TY, of course, he has his SCV out. He will scout this. So now we have this is a faraway proxy pylon, though. It's funny, as these builds happen, right, as these builds become more and more popular, the Protoss finds it incumbent on themselves to build their proxies further and farther away from the Terran base to make sure that things do not get scouted. But now we have the probes going to go on into the main base, factory on the way as well. And I believe, did TY ski? Okay, TY has seen the gas. So now this pylon's here, and okay, so now we're going to see I was going to say Stargate, but I don't think that's what this is anymore. This is, as the longer this waits, this feels more and more like it's going to be maybe like a proxy robo setup, or has Party just abandoned everything? There we go. Proxy robo play. Here, coming in from Parting. Of course, this is, you know, the gas setup, this is absolutely something that is possible. You know, the double gas there just means you get fast tech off of one base. But the thing is, of course, is when dealing with this, everything that Parting is showing is making it look like it is, in fact, proxy Stargate, proxy Void Array, because, of course, there are multiple reasons for this. A, that is the meta right now. B, Parting has been a strong proponent of that style. Is the SCV going to see this? SCV will see the robo. Okay, SCV will see the robo before it goes down. Not in enough time to deal with anything, but we'll see that before it goes down. Meanwhile, of course, the Stalker just trying to clear away this eBay. And yeah, this is rather interesting. So we do have a Immortal being chronoed out, and TY says, you know what? Actually, I will be able to deal with this. Bunker now on the way. I believe the Immortal will get done first, but the bunker will get done shortly thereafter. And with the two SCVs here, this bunker is guaranteed to go up. So now with the chrono here, the Immortal is out. But of course, the second question is, the Immortal just kills all the Marines. Well, the bunker doesn't really matter. Now the Stalkers are here too. I think TY may have overcommitted here in his attempt to shut this down. Sure, the bunker's out, but well, I mean, the bunker doesn't really matter. Nice marker here from Parting, pulling back against the Cyclone lock-on. And behind this, we do have a natural from Parting. So we do have a lock-on once again. We'll go on top of this Immortal. Hardened Shields has been triggered once again. So, or has been triggered, which of course means that you gotta be a little bit careful. The Immortal is not so much Immortal at the moment. Nice Widowmine shot, and I don't think Parting's gonna be able to get a whole lot done with this, but he's really not trying to. I mean, if you look, he's got a natural behind this. This is just some nice aggressive play as he tries to get whatever he can done. And we do have a Stalker warping in here. We do have a Warp Prism on the way. And what is this? We have, how many gates do we have? We have one gate. And behind this, again, just Parting, he's trying to find that economic lead. So a couple more gates on the way. Well, as I say that, again, he's dropping a couple more gates, looking to get aggressive here. And TY stuck on one base. So, really, I mean, he's going to have to get something done soon, whether that is, you know, take his command center or get a drop-off. But now we do have a, what is that, 6 Marine 2 medevac or 6 Marine 1 medevac. Yeah, or 1 Widowmine. Yeah, you can't do that. The slots don't work. Anyway, 6 Marine 1 Widowmine drop, moving on to the map, trying to see what it can get done. But now, that, of course, because there is a tank now on the high ground. But, of course, a nice Warp Prism micro here. Of course, Warp Prism pickup does cancel the lock-on. So that's rather nice here. As Parting just tries to see what he can get done. But now with the 2 tanks here on the high ground, now, okay, we're just going to have Parting drop on top of things. But the Immortal finds itself too low. And, of course, with the lock-on onto this Warp Prism, it's not exactly something that is going to be easy to defend. Meanwhile, the drop here onto the main base of Parting. Nice. Well, Widowmine shot will just kill a Stalker. And normally I would say, hey, you know, that's not all that great. But here in this situation, with the Marines, actually that's a fairly good situation here, as there are just not a lot of warp-ins at the moment. Parting only mining off of one base for the moment. But of course, this drop will eventually be forced to lift off to go home. And now we do have the Viking will get on top of this War Prism. Try to see what it can get done. But okay, the Viking, the War Prism will go down. And now we do have the Immortal. We do have the Stalkers now on their way home. This Immortal should get caught as there is no... I don't believe there's a recall. Alright, so the Cyclone's going to catch the Immortal. Immortal's going to try to see what he can get done, but not a whole lot. Nice micro here, playing with the high ground, but of course with the high ground vision, not a really whole lot can happen there. And now we have some SCV aggression coming here. Now these SCVs serve a twofold purpose. On the one hand, they are there. Well, TY is on one base because Parting hit him with a proxy robo, and TY did not really feel comfortable getting his natural in any way, shape, or form. So now he says, you know what? I don't think you've done enough, Parting. It is now my turn to just go and try to kill you. But now we do have a couple Stalkers here, and there are not enough. I don't think there are enough shield batteries as of yet, but now we do have the shield batteries, and Parting has pulled all of his SCVs. He's going to try to kill this off before the tanks are allowed to siege. And the tanks, of course, they're not sieging. So that is something in Parting's favor, but now 14 workers going down. And, well, 14 workers going down. Cyclones there able to lock on. Now we do have the tanks sieging up once again. Now, the SCVs have died, so there is no repair once again, but this is 3 tanks. This is a terrifying Terran army. And it looks like with 3 army supply left, TY is going to take game number 1. He says, no, Parting. Your shenanigans do not work on me. And I'm going to take a 1-0 lead in this series. Charge is just about done, so maybe that is going to be Parting's saving grace here. He's going to be able to get on top of things. But with only 3 gateways, and with this Liberator owning the ramp, I don't see it. The natural is forfeit. And I guess maybe Parting's mental arithmetic says, you know, well, it's 1 base versus 1 base. Maybe that's a hold I can get, but... Again, it is 3 siege tanks. It is a Cyclone. It is a Liberator, and yeah, it's going to be rather difficult for Parting to hold. Actually, the lock-on's going to get on this pylon as well, and that is absolutely our Artosis pylon. So we do have the charge lots now. Stim going in, and they're going to be able to take out 1 of these tanks. Actually, going to be able to take out two of the 3 tanks, and that's rather nice. But we do have the rally now moving across the map, and this just the Cyclone Marine R Force is enough. Okay, so maybe just maybe with the Dark Templar here. Once the scan runs out, of course, this is a Terran on 1 base, so there are not a lot of scans. But of course, this pylon is the scary thing. The pylon is getting targeted down. Now that the Dark Templar is doing a good job of holding, and maybe that's going to be enough to push our Terran friend back. But now there is a Raven on the map. All right, and there with the lack of blink, it gets rather difficult. There are just not enough Stalkers, so now the Stalkers are going to run in, but they will sacrifice their lives in exchange. Okay, the Stalkers do have a nice position here. And, yeah, we do have a Cyclone move across the map. A DT following in exchange. Of course, the speedy DT is going to try to catch up with the Marines. I don't believe he will be able to do so. Do we have Stim? Stim is not done. Stim is only just now getting started. And, we stabilize on 1 base versus 1 base. As I say that, the second command center of TY is just about done. But now, I think we're going to see Parting try to turn on the taps of this aggression here, as he only has 1 base, and we're going to see some sort of 3-base charge lot Archon, or well, 3-gate charge lot Archon. There were not 3 bases here. Oh, I guess 4-gate. He looks to maybe do a counter punch, but I don't know. This is a scary army from our Terran opponent, from our Terran player, and this tank is unreachable on the high ground. So we do see the army moving across, and I would like to see a War Prism, but I guess TY or Parting just cannot afford it, which of course means that this army is again, the tank is unreachable. And sure, Charge Lot Archon is a good thing. Actually, TY is just going to scan the natural. He says, oh, okay, I see what's up. I see that you don't have a natural. It's good that I'm just going to try to defend here as much as possible, but man, this is a hard thing for Parting to make happen. He's going to charge in. He's going to try to get on top of things. His Zealots will get on top of things rather quickly, but the Archons finding themselves derped out, and there we have it. GG. TY taking game number 1. Of course, that was a last-ditch effort there coming in from Parting. A last-ditch effort that was not successful, but he's got to try. And now we're getting ready to move on to game number 2. Parting with that 1-0 lead. All right, we have game number 2. It is loaded up. It will be on Lightshade. Of course, Lightshade has that rather interesting siege up position. Now, you can siege tanks behind it. Now, of course, that does not get the Nexus, or the hatchery, or whatever the building is there. But it does pretty much cover up until that edge. So now there's that opportunity for the Terran to siege up behind the minerals. No, never. I'm not thinking of Lightshade. Never. I'm thinking of a different map. I'm thinking of Romanticide, I believe. I do not have these maps absolutely memorized as of yet. This is the first tournament I've cast on them, so that is exciting. But we are now loaded in to map number 2. Here we are. And in the bottom right, in the blue, for the Freak of Freaks, it's TY. And in the upper left, in the red, representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, it's Parting. All right, so the question is, what are we going to see in this match? So Parting went for Proxy Robo in game number 1. It did not work out. TY had the scout off, he had the hold, and he did a good job of it too. So what are we going to see in game number 2? We only see one gas at the moment, so it looks like Parting going into maybe a more normal PvT opener at this point. And he says, you know what? I'm not going to proxy Void Ray every single game. I'm not going to or proxy Robo, whatever it is. I'm not going to proxy every single game like I did to Innovation. I got to put some normal games in there. Got to play a bunch of different styles if I might have a hope of beating TY, because TY, of course, does have his number. TY, it appears that TY more than anything has just downloaded Parting and kind of knows what Parting is going to do on any given map in any given situation, and that is an incredible advantage to have when dealing with a player. Because they just always seem to run up against each other in the round of 8, the round of 4 of the GSL, at least these last 2 seasons. Yeah, it's crazy. TY, of course, Parting has an insane PvT ability, but you know when you're dealing with TY, that's more than just that. So let's see. Parting, of course, he is in an all PvT group, so I would not be surprised to see him in the GSL. So I would not be surprised to see him necessarily hiding some builds, or at least trying to. Meanwhile, of course, Parting, or TY, he was able to beat Zaun or Jun. Is it Jun or Zaun? Anyway, however that is pronounced. And then he is going to be seeded into the winner of, or he's going to the second place from Group B. Now, there is only one Protoss in their group, so there's not a high likelihood that TY is going to run into as well. Of course, Group B of the GSL is Cure, DRG, Solar, and Zest. So, sure, he might end up playing Zest, but I think it's more likely that he I mean, again, just playing the law of averages here. Any one of Cure, DRG, or Solar could get out as well. Okay, the Adept's going to get it. Actually, we'll be able to delay the bunker and delay the command center. So all of these things are rather nice. Actually, TY doing a nice job forcing the SCVs out. Although, once again, with enough SCVs, this command center will complete. But 2 SCVs haven't gone down. So this is some nice damage from our red Protoss immediately as the Adept goes onto the high ground. We'll, in fact, see what's up here. And now with a Stalker on here, too. The mining is not going to happen for quite a while. So now we do have the SCVs. They're going to try to get on into this bunker, and they will succeed in doing so. But now we're just going to have the Reaper the Adept and the Stalker. Now they're just going to sit behind the natural for a little bit, deny the kind of mining that they can. And now with 2 Stalkers and an Adept here, they're really trying to lean into this as hard as they can. We do have a Robo, we do have a Twilight behind this, as Parting looks to go into his patented Blink play. All right, so we do have a recall here from one, from 2 of the 3 units on the other side of the map. As this Cyclone actually getting a good amount of damage on 3 workers for the 1 Cyclone. That's not something that you expect to happen here, especially not when it's just 1 Hellion. 1 Hellion does not damage make, but apparently in this game it does, as TY has found a way to curtail the economy of Parting just slightly. Now, Parting, of course, going for 4K Blink behind this. He wants to really lean into the aggression here. He was able to absolutely annihilate Bunny with this, but of course TY is made of stronger stuff, and he's going into a Banshee play behind this. Now, of course, do we have an observer out on the map? Okay, there was one observer that is on the way. onto the other side of the map here, which means the Banshee is not going to be all that useful as a defensive tool. But of course, the recall has been used for quite a while. It will not be available for the next while. And should this Banshee find its way across the map with Cloak and just start killing the probes of our Terran player, or wow, of our Protoss player, that's going to make life rather difficult. But of course, Parting does need to wait, or TY does need to wait for that second Banshee to come out, because there are shield batteries. Well, okay, only in the main. There's no shield battery in the natural mineral line, so that is a avenue, that is a damage vector that TY can potentially take advantage of. But of course, because it takes two Banshees to kill a probe, well, with shield batteries there, you really do need two Banshees, or you need one Banshee shelling away long enough for the shield battery to go away. So we do have the shield battery on the way in the natural now, and we do have one Stalker sitting there at home just trying to defend things. So now we have, what is that, 6 Stalkers looking to move across the map, and only one tank. Was that, so, okay, the Observer was not killed. But now we have a decent amount of Stalkers here. Parting is going to go, now he's going to blink in. He's going to get this tank as it warps out. And now he's going to sit out just outside of tank range. The Observer's going to go down, which means this Stalker now is going, or this Banshee is going to remain uncontested. That's nice. That is consistent DPS that will last for the entirety of this game. Other Banshee has been forced him. I don't know if that is an F2 or anything else. Actually, Parting, he's just going to micro around the Banshee shots. He says, I'm just going to pick up and go down. And eventually you will run out of energy. And run out of energy it will. So now the tank is going to go down. The Banshee is going to go down. Nice blink micro here from Parting with both, well, with both the Warp Prism and Blink as well. But of course, he does have to move this Warp Prism out of the way so the Warp Prism is allowed to actually, well, warp in things. But now the Bio's going to get on top of things and just barely get out. So we do have another Observer here. Only 3 workers going down for TY. And I'm not sure Parting is getting the type of damage he needs to in this game. So we do have another tank. It is in the main base, but now it looks like Parting is now going to rotate onto the natural, going to just blink on top of this bunker, kill it off in 2 volleys, well, 3 volleys, I guess, just with the Stalker count. And that's going to be rather nice, but we do have 2 Banshees here. And Banshees do a number on Stalkers. They do rather significant damage. Now, the Warp Prism is going to go down as well. What is up with my animations? I just recently reinstalled StarCraft because I got an SSD for my, that can serve for both storage and not just boot. I'm wondering if that's something to do with that. I need to see if I need to change some settings somewhere. But yeah, we're just not seeing death animations, which is rather weird. It's disconcerting to see a Warp Prism just kind of disappear out of the middle of the air. Now, Parting behind this, he is still on 2 bases. This is turning into a 2-base all-in. What are we on? We are going to be going on to 6 total gateways, as we do have now Charge on the way. And Parting, of course, or TY, of course, he does have his 3rd base. Well, he does have a 3rd command center at the very least. He's going into 5 racks behind this. He says, you know what, I see what you're up to. Generally, 5 racks, wow, Terran wants to be aggressive, but not in this case. Actually, wow, Stim is only just now starting. So again, this is going to be a difficult situation for the Terran for the duration here. As actually Parting's going to blink on top of things. He's going to be able to get both Banshees immediately, although the Raven is still there, which means the Observer is going to go down. And now with Charge just about done, that's a lot of Zealots coming in. Charge, of course, well, that's pretty daggone good against the tanks here. And now we do have the Zealots. They're going to run on in, get on top of things. But that's a lot of bio here, and there are some nice SCV pulls as well. So now we do have the Stalkers. They're going to blink on top of this tank, but at what cost? Actually, no cost at all. As the Zealots, some of the Zealots are still alive. Nice blink micro here from our red Protoss player. And there we have a GG. Parting taking game number 2. And there we have it. It's a best of 5. Neither player outmatched by the other, and we're moving on into game number 3. Inno is big brain, but you don't always see the largest brain of Inno. Seems like once a year we just see some insane new crazy build that Inno debuts in one particular matchup, and it's just like, why don't you do this all the time? Because it's some crazy build. It's proxy 2-port battlecruiser in TVT. With a bunch of Hellions to kill the Marines. It's, before this was a thing, it is Drilling Claw Widow, 2-factor Drilling Claw Widow Mine drops against Protoss. All these different things that it's something you've never seen before. And it seems like he hits that inspiration about once a year, once every 2 years, and really shows something new and innovative. But other than that, it's Innovative the Machine, the Terran player that drops not a single beat in macro. Understands the game too, and is just able to read the game at an insane level. And of course, game number 3 will be on Romanticide. The Death of Romance. And with both players ready, we are getting now ready to move on into game number 4. And yeah, do as the man says. Sushi, of course, he is the owner of ITaX. He's a great guy. Heavily involved in the StarCraft scene. He deserves a massive shout out. On top of the fact, do as the man says, contribute to Match Arena. Use the code. I don't know if the code has been used all the way its entirety or not. I don't know how many codes there are. Follow us on Trovo. Follow us on Africa TV. Follow us on Twitch. On all streaming platforms. We have some sort of presence. We do upload all of these games to YouTube as well. But in order for these games to be uploaded on YouTube, they must be played. And you know what? A new game is now playing. Here we are. We're on Romanticide, so let's go. In the upper left, in the blue, it's TY. In the bottom right, in the red, taking game number 2 in style, it's Parting. Yeah, suddenly, I don't know how many codes there are, or how many are being used. And yeah, we do have a Proxy Reaper now coming out. I assume this is Proxy. Yeah, there we go. There's the gas coming down. So we do have a Proxy Reaper coming out for TY in this game number 3. He wants to maybe get a little bit of aggression. Of course, this Proxy Reaper, it is only going to be one Barracks Reaper. It's really not going to be... The goal is not to kill your opponent. Although, if you do, that's nice. But no, the whole point of here is to get some probe damage done if you can. It's going to be forcing that Zealot out. Doing all of these things that just slow the Protoss down, make life a little bit harder for him into the mid game, allow the Terran to really kind of find that economic lead, that tempo lead, that agency lead that he may be looking for. So now Parting, of course, his probe is going to find its way in the main base. He sees the double gas. He knows how much gas has been mined from each, and he sees the lack of a barracks. So he knows that, okay, yeah, there's the Reaper on the way. It has been proxied on the map. There is always the chance that this is some sort of proxy 1-1-1. Yeah, okay, so we have a bunker going down as well, so this is going to be a little bit more committed than your standard Proxy Reaper here. And now we have a pylon on the way, which of course, this is kind of cool, because this means that the SCV is not going to be able to, well, mine everything. Mine everything. It's not going to be able to build on all sides of the bunker, which of course makes it a little bit easier for Parting to chase it down. And, well, actually no, that's a lie, because of course the SCV lives within the hitbox of the bunker. Anyway, we do have the Reaper now on the way. It finds itself in the main base, and of course, Parting not choosing to go for that Zealot says, you know what, I have a good enough micro, I'm just going to be able to pull probes and make things work, and I'm going to have a Stalker up eventually. So now we do have, okay, actually no, that Zealot was built, I'm sorry. Okay, show how much I'm paying attention here. But the Zealot has been pulled to the natural immediately. We'll be able to kill that bunker. Or force the salvage, I guess. And a second Reaper now on the way, but we do have a Stalker here, and that's rather nice. Although three Reapers are able to kill a Stalker rather easily. So now we do have this Zealot going to move across the map, see what it can get done as the Stalker just chases these Reapers away. But we are going up onto a third Reaper, and when you're sitting on 3 Reapers versus 1 Stalker, 3 Reapers with proper micro absolutely do kill that Stalker. So now we do have the Reapers going on into the natural once again, but we do have 2 Stalkers and a Zealot now moving on onto the I should say natural, moving on to TY's side of the map. And of course the wall will be up. And now with these 3 Reapers, these probes, their lives are forfeit. And the only question, of course, is whether TY or Parting, whether Parting will be able to get the type of damage done that he wants to here. So he will be able to delay the command center for a good bit of time. He is able to start shelling away at the supply depot going down rather low, but of course there are now SCVs pulled to deal with that. And with the double Widow Mine here, this is not really going to be all that successful. And of course, the SCV is going to sacrifice its life, but or the Zealot's going to sacrifice its life, but more than that. But a little more than that, as now the command center will be allowed to complete once again. And now the Reapers in the middle of the map try and just take out any sort of rally. And now there are 4 Reapers. And that's a lot of Reapers, actually. That is the point where this gets a little bit scary. Reapers, of course, taking about 25% of the Stalker health whenever they volley, but with the 4 Stalkers here, it's not going to do enough. So we do see the barracks is now floated on into the main base to scout. So are we going to see mech here coming from part? Okay, no, we do see another barracks being built on into the main base, but this will be armory widow mine drops behind this as TY says, you know what, I just want to do some damage. I want to make your life rather difficult. But of course the armory, by the time the armory is done and the widow mines are on the other side of the map, well, there will be a robo on the way done. Oh yeah, Catharsis, if you go to the Maturino page and hit the contribute button, I believe it is what it is. It'll prompt you to log in. You plug in the code AXCOM171 into the where it says coupon code, I believe, and that'll add 50 cents once you've logged in. And you can log in with your Battle.net account. So it's not even like you have to make an account yourself. There we go. Yeah, that's the contribute. Okay, it's the contribute button. There we go. So now we do have a rally here of a bunch of Reapers, a bunch of Widow Mines, and this is a jank attack if I've ever seen one. But it has the potential to do some significant damage. We do not have an observer on the map just yet. It is being built now, but now the Reapers are going to go in, and we do have these nice, fancy Widow Mines. They're going to burrow, and they are invisible. Nice job though with the Pro Pool doing a good job of forcing these to be Trader Widow Mines. But now 15. Oh wow. You know that's the big deal here, as we do have Widow Mine drops now on into the main base. 15 workers going down, and TY actually has now found the type of damage he wants, even if he's able to take care of that Widow Mine, drop. And yeah, so getting probes in the natural is nice, but that's just icing on the cake here. Oh yeah, so talk about a difference. So I did the Exxon Cup last night, and that is a $1 code. That's not a 50-cent code. And we got the price pool, I think, up to like $25. Before, no, I think it was like 25 bucks before the actual price pool contribution was added. So it ended up being like a $75 price pool for a weekly cup, which was rather nice. See, unfortunately, the codes are not. I don't know if that's visible because the codes are not exactly publicized. It is up to the tournament organizer to push them, and not everything has it. So I don't know how feasible that is, but it really just relies on word of mouth to do things. It's not like the codes are posted anywhere, tend to be posted anywhere in some sort of aggregate publicly. So we do have the Blink Stalkers. They are here. They are live, and they're not going to blink on top of this tank. Tank's going to go down. And now there's only a tank on the low ground. Now Parting just chipping away at this command center. Chipping away at these workers. Now we don't have Starting. He's going to blink on top of things once again. Second tank going to go down. And the auto turret, of course, it will be forced to drop. But auto turret does a lot of damage, but it is stationary. It only lasts for so long. But now we do have, of course, Parting has been put in a corner, and no one puts Baby in a corner. Although I should say, Baby put Parting in a corner. But there we have it, GG. Parting going to take game number 2. Go up 2-0. Alright, so if you are still confused, I have something I can show you. Let's go to the Maturino page. So for anyone who is new, who does not know what is up necessarily here. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have that clip download, or that clip has not been provided to me. So if we're going to go to the Maturino page. There we go. Alright, so we're going to add a we're going to add a what was that, game capture? Window capture, there we go. And we're going to capture not StarCraft 2. We're going to capture this. Okay, so now you see we are on Maturino. It's rather simple. You go to Maturino, you say, okay, look, there's a prize pool there, $14. I'm not signed in currently, so I'm going to hit this contribute button. I'm going to hit the sign in to contribute. I'm going to log in with my Battle.net account because that's the easiest. Now it's going to log me in. I'm going to hit this contribute button, and I have already contributed, I believe, but you use the code AXCOM171, and that adds 50 cents. Actually, I have not contributed to this one yet because I am terrible. Now look, I've contributed. I'm in, and that is all that it takes. And now 50 cents has been added to the prize pool. So that's how it works. So now we have okay, I thought I clicked that invite, but there we go. We're now ready to go into game number 4. It will be on Gigantha. Parting with that 2-1 lead. Thank you so much, Catharsis. I appreciate everything that you do. So there we go. We now have the countdown getting ready on for game number 4. We'll be on Gigantha. And I have no idea what that is in Korean, or how that is translated into other languages, because I don't necessarily know what it means. Yeah, is that a drunk lizard? Suddenly? I think that's a drunk lizard. I don't know. But that's my guess. That's my best guess. Take it or leave it. It's a drunk lizard. Anyway, we do have our players loading into Gigantha. And we're in there too. Let's go. And here we are in the bottom left. That is not correct. There we go. In the bottom left. In the blue. Down 2-1 this best of 7. It's TY. And in the upper right, in the red, representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, it's Parting. Alrighty then. So, of course, last game, TY going for some jank. Proxy Reaper that didn't necessarily get a whole lot done into a delayed command center from Parting, into Mass Widow Mine with an armory that got 15 probes, don't get me wrong. But, of course, the follow-up Blink Attack was just too strong, and that was just a weird game. A really cool game, but a weird game nonetheless. And actually, this is I'm not going to call it, this is not a team kill, obviously. You know, Parting plays for Dragon Phoenix Gaming, TY plays for Afrika. But, you know, of course, Dragon Phoenix Gaming, it's a smaller team. Afrika, well, actually, you know what? Belay that. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, it's a decently sized Chinese team, and they do play in the Golden Team League. And Afrika TV, Afrika at this point has signed. It's got Armani, it's got DRG, it's got TY. I believe it's got stats. So definitely, you know, big enough to have practice partners, things like that. But anyway, these players have played each other so much recently in cups, especially after how hype Parting was in the season 1 of the GSL. We're seeing a lot of tournaments happen where these two players are asked to play against each other. That you just all almost have this mind game going on of this kind of team kill scenario mind game going on here. Or because the players play each other so much, we're starting to see some really weird stuff as they kind of play and counterplay to each other's tendencies. So, of course, the question here is, what is Parting going to do on this map? Because I think TY, for the most part, if he's not proxying something, he's kind of doing the same thing every game. You know, he's going on with 1-1-1, he's going to get a third command center behind it, going to go into bio, put on some aggression, get a lot of tanks because he's TY, and go from there. Parting, of course, Parting has a whole lot of builds in his repertoire, but it looks like we're going to see Blink Stalkers once again. Of course, the big question here is, how many gates are we going to see? Parting in this tournament has really seemed to favor that 4-gate blink, that little bit more all in, give him a little bit more of a chance to kill his opponent, but at the same time, of course, it does have to get more damage done. Nice shade in here from this Adept, just really for denying mining for the time being. But of course, on the flip side, you know, there is the opportunity for this to be a more defensive 2-gate blink, 3-gate blink. 3-gate blink, of course, does have the opportunity to get something done. 2-gate blink is just sitting there to try to be defensively, shut down any early drops, things like that. But you know what, as I say that, it's not going to delay Blink at all. We do have a Dark Shrine on the way here. And Parting is, of course, the master of the Dark Templar. His ability to get damage done where no damage should get done at all is legendary. But, of course, TY actually not going for that third command center rather early. No, this is going to be... So we got a Raven on the way, but this is going to be kind of a 2-1-1 opener here, as we do have a second barracks on the way before third command center. And again, it looks like TY is going to want to put some damage on once again. Now, that does not surprise me, actually, even just based off the interview I did with Parting when he played Innovation about, 2 weeks ago. He's like, yeah, you know, the reason we're seeing so many Terrans go for so much aggression early on is, well, the game. It's not really favored. PvT is not really Terran favored at any point in the game, so you might as well try to see what you can get done early. So yeah, we do have 311 on the way. Raven now on the way as well, which means that theoretically these Dark Templars are not going to get a ton of damage done. This is Parting though, and his ability to his control with the Warp Prism with Dark Templar is incredible. So I would not be surprised to see him get 5-6 workers, despite the fact that there is a Raven that will be on the map. So now we do have the Warp Prism going in. So one Dark Templar is going to move on into the front. And the Warp Prism with 2 Dark Templar now moving on into the main base. Going to just try to snipe down Stim. And yeah, the SCV pull is going to be a little bit too late. So yeah, the Stim is just going to go down. That's a move. That is a most excellent move here coming from our Terran player. And actually, so the missile turret also, or from our Protoss player, missile turret will also go down. But of course, there is a scan placed well, so there's no place for this Dark Templar to hide. But that is just the but my dear, we've merely begun to fight. Is now Parting, looking to see what he can get in once again. But with the Raven, of course, means this Warp Prism can be disabled, which is not all that great. But now we do see Parting picking up, hot dropping these DTs as they get any sort of damage done, because he really does not want the Dark Templars to be stranded away from the Warp Prism. So now behind this, we do have a third base on the way. We do have Colossus Tech on the way, Charge on the way as well, Forge on the way. As Parting says, you know what, I'm ready to move on into the mid game here. And TY, however, doing a really good job of defending his main base from the aggressions of these spooky, invisible, stabby boys. But now it looks like Parting has found his opening. He's going to move in. Once again, he's just going to drop the DTs on top of this mineral line, and we're going to start to see some SCVs go down. 3 SCVs go down at the price of 1 Dark Templar, so not terrible. But now we do see a nice double drop moving on to the left-hand side of the map. And whether this is to try to catch the Warp Prism, or rather to get some damage done. It looks like oh yeah, it's to catch the Warp Prism. So that's rather cool. Actually, I wouldn't even be surprised to see Parting go and recall this. But now he's going to move on into the main base. And there's just not a lot of anti-air here on into the main base at the moment. But now, of course, we do have Colossi on the way. The extended thermal lance is just about done. And Parting observer in just the proper location to be able to make sure that he sees this drop on the way. And with Charge, with this Colossi, yeah, this drop should not get a whole lot done. And it's gonna look to go home. But of course, Parting's just sitting here with this Warp Prism. Says, you know what? I'm just gonna wait for you until you're not paying attention, and then I'm gonna run in once again, just like that. And I'm going to warp in a ton of stuff, and I'm going to try to kill you with it. But now the TY, of course, is paying attention. He does have Marines right there. But, of course, there's just enough dead airspace here that the Marines will not be able to accomplish what they wish. And now the main army, of course, of Parting, it's on the other side of the map, is moving across. And it will just almost take out the double drop. Just barely, take out 1 medevac. Medevac will, however, survive because there is no blink. And it looks like Parting is content with moving back once again. He says, you know what? This map is kind of hard to kill on. Especially with tanks here. The chokes are small. So I'm not ready to commit just yet. I do not have blink. I do not have +1. All the +1 is just now finishing. I'm just going to take a 4th base. And that's not a bad idea in the slightest. Okay, so it looks like the Warp Prism and the Dark Templar were shot down by Vikings. And so, yeah, we have another Warp Prism on the way. Blink is just about done now, which is probably the point where Parting's going to maybe want to get something done. But, of course, we just may choose to go into the late game here. Parting, of course, he does have his 4th base. He's 1 base ahead of his Terran opponent. Well, 4th base is on the way, but, again, 4th Command Center not necessarily on the way for the Terran as of yet. +2 attack on the way as well. I would like to... Parting does have 4 bases. I would like to see him go and... drop that second forge, started getting some armor as well. Of course, that just makes those zealots that much better. And those zealots will charge on top of this Hellion. Hellion, we're going to go down, but that is the Hellion's job. It is really just put there to provide some advanced warning. Say, hey, you know what? Should I be afraid? And TY, actually, you should be afraid. This is a terrifying Protoss army on the attack. Although, to be fair, with the 2 tanks here, really, okay, with the 4 tanks here, that's going to be rather difficult for Parting to get anything done. But of course, Parting just looking to trade. He will knock out that Raven before his observer goes down. So yeah, there we go. Of course, the 2 disables will run their course, but not with these 3 Colossi. And with the more and more chargelets being warped in, Archons as well, it really Parting's in a good spot to maybe continue on the aggression here. He had a good trade from the first part, and now we have the SCVs being pulled for the first time, and they're going to try to get something done. But really, all this means is Parting is doing a good job of shaving off the economy of TY because he's really not committing all that hard. And behind this, of course, we do see Parting lost just about as much as his Terran opponent. And when he's able to shave off that much of the economy, well, that's a good deal for the Terran, but for the Protoss player. So now we do see 1-1 is now done for TY, +2 attack, +2 armor on the way as well. And we have a 5th base on the way for Parting here. So Parting, again, growing by leaps and bounds in the economy of this game, as he's just kind of sitting here and trying to find an avenue, because of course it is difficult to attack into this. There are 2 tanks. Tanks are, of course, they're only being built 1 by 1. Actually, yeah, 3 tanks here. So this is always going to be a difficult situation for Parting to attack into. That being said, we do have Parting progressing up his tech tree rather well. We do have Blink DT on the way. This is a 5th base, although Parting, interestingly enough, has not taken his gas on this 4th base. I feel like you do want to take that gas on the 4th and 5th base when you are going to kind of smash Blink DT style that Parting seems to like so much. So 1 Dark Templar going to move on to 3rd base, going to get a couple workers. But of course, there's a missile turret, there's a tank. It's not going to be all that effective. And what Parting is saying here, more than anything else, is yeah, okay, so now the Terran army is looking to step out, and that is not a fight that the T1 wants to take in the slightest. Although there will come a point where TY is going to be up rather significantly in upgrades, as again he's double Evo or double wow, can't remember what it's called. But now we do have Parting once again running in. This time, of course, the setup here for the Terran is just a little bit better. That's a lot of tanks, and that's a lot of Vikings, and all of the Colossi are just going to find themselves going down. But the question is whether Parting has done enough. I don't think he has 10 workers go down. 11 workers have gone down as part of this. But Parting lost all of his tech. He lost all of his tech, and now we do have a TY that is ready to rampage across the map. He says, you know what, I've killed a lot, and I've lost a lot of economy. So you know what, I think it's time for me to make my move. So we do have that scan here. Question: how many scans do we have on the map? There is none there. There is 1 there, and there is 3 there. So decent amount of scans on the map here, which means these Dark Templar are not going to get a whole lot done. But actually, the DTs, they're doing a great job. They're just killing off all the Vikings, which means there has been room now made for Parting to go back into Colossi should he wish. But it looks like the Disruptor is the name of the game here. Although we are only on 1 Robo for the time being, so Parting really not going to be able to resupply all that fast. But of course, when you warp in 10 chargelets at a time, that can be rather nice. But at this juncture, I feel the need to complain to Blizzard because, of course, +2 armor is the same color as +3 attack for the most part. I don't know why +3, why attack and shields +2 have a different color from +3, but armor does not really. Every other race has consistent. Berserk is, it's green for +1, it's purple for +2, it's red for +3. Terran is what? Tealish for +1, blue for +2, red for +3. That's consistent color across all of the upgrades. For some reason, Blizzard has decided that Protoss needs to have no internal consistency on the colors that it uses for the different upgrades here. Now we do have Parting taking a nice position here. Okay, that Disruptor shot is going to miss, and with that, Parting will be forced to back up. Although Charge is back up here, so there is the opportunity to re-engage once again, but with the tank there, not sure he exactly wants to do that. But now we do have 3-2 on the way for Parting, and 3-3 is not on the way. It's not an idea in the eye of TY at the moment. He just really does not feel like he has enough economy for it. Again, look, we're 85 workers to the 52 of Parting. He's doing a great job of continuously shaving off the army of his Terran opponent. So it's not like we're going to get to that point where Terran is maxed out and just has this insanely larger army. So now we do have the army of Parting's going to be able to just bling on top of this drop of Parting here, or of TY here, and that's just going to go away. Nice trades here, and now Parting's up 70 supply. Up 20 total army supply, but 70 supply in total. And I would not mind him just, you know, sitting here A-moving almost. He's gonna have an upgrade parity in a second. We have him blanking on top. Charizards, of course, they are running into a situation where they can't get past the Stalkers. But yeah, this is just too much. GG. Parting taking a 3-1 lead in this best of 7. Parting on match point. TY, he's got a mountain to climb if he wants to come back. Alrighty then. Game number 5 upcoming. Parting with that nice 3-1 lead. I'm awake. I swear. So, waiting for that map to come up. I don't know what it is, otherwise I would tell you. I'd tell you about how excited I am that we're going to see that map. Excuse me. So we're just waiting for the map. Yeah. I appreciate the stoned/drunk lizards that are invading the chat ever so slowly. That's a fun time. Trevo does have its own unique emojis, and they're a little weird, but they're fun. They're nice. So, okay, game number 4 will be on Oxide, and with a 3-1 lead, I would not be surprised to see Parting break out the proxy Stargate play here. Of course, there was the proxy Stargate he did against Bjorn. But no, that wasn't even a proxy Stargate, I don't think. I think there was a Stargate in his base. But yeah, he went Tempests. He got the Tempest, the bonus damage to buildings, whatever that upgrade is called. I actually don't, it's too new. I don't know what it's called. But anyway, the Tempest upgrade, and he just kind of shredded the infrastructure of Bjorn and won the game that way. That was rather cool. I don't know if we're going to see that. You know, I'm just throwing things out there. Because, of course, Parting does have this 3-1 lead, so he is more free to do what he wants, as he has 2 games to give, even before he goes to an ace. All right, then. We are loaded in to game number 7. Oh, wow. Game number 5. Let's get into it. And here we are on the bottom left. The GSL Season 1 champion. His tournament life on the line. It's TY. And in the upper right, in the red, 1 game away from ultimate victory, it's Parting. It's kind of fun. I co-cast the semis and the finals of the Exxon Cup last night with Steadfast, who's a pretty cool dude. Although if we did lose it, unfortunately we did lose him for a game because of his computer crashed. But anyway, players are used to just talking about the player, about the game, whatever, or casters are, I should say, as soon as the intro happens. You zoom in, you say, it's Parting, and you go out. But because I have this 10-second audio clip, player intros, when I cast someone, I always kind of forget to tell them, hey, wait 10 seconds after the intro, because I got to zoom in, and I got audio intros, and then we go from there. So it's always fun trying to working with a new co-caster. Not that I am, of course, the utmost absolute expert in how to cast with the co-caster, as I primarily do solo things. Although I'm working to change that just a little, just really so I can have the experience. As of course the bigger tournaments, it always co-casts, and of course that's easier for the casters as well, because it means we are not the only one talking, and more importantly, it means that it's easier to fill time. So now we have the max packs build on the way, Parting with this cheeky gateway. Now of course TY is gonna feel pretty good about himself. He said, "Look, I got your probe. Not to be confused with the nose. Of course, he does not have the nose, but now he knows that this is the Max Specs build. He knows this anyways, of course, because, well, that there is a Zealot now on into the main base. Zealot, of course, was able to kill off that SCV rather easily. And, of course, the Reaper is just able to micro away from this. But now there's a second Zealot on the way. This SCV will not be able to complete this bunker. And this command center, I'm surprised TY has not just canceled and rebuild it, to be totally honest. But, you know, he's relying on his micro here, and he's relying on an SCV pull. But we now have a Stalker on the way as well. And, yeah, so more and more, he's hemorrhaging more and more build time, more and more mining time. And now with okay, so now we have the Stalkers out, and it's getting body blocked here. Excellent micro here from TY. Stalker is out, and so it's going to get locked behind. Okay, so now the Citizen's Arrest is complete, and TY has held this better than anyone I've ever. Wow, that is excellent micro from TY. He says, no, no, no parting. This is not something that can allow to have happen in this game. And there we have it, GG. That's just it. TY taking game number 5. Oh, that was cool. Quick game. Nice break from the nice long games we've been having happening here. But yeah, that's definitely something that was rather unexpected. But hey, that works. Now we're 3-2, parting. One more game of Cheeky stuff before we go to an ace match. And this will be Pilares de Oro. Pillars of Gold. I have no idea what it is in other languages. But, you know, that's what happens. And, you know, Pillars of Gold, it's a pretty good proxy Void Ray map. You know, pretty good proxy Stargate map in general. As the main is pretty doggone accessible. And there's some good Stargate hiding positions. So now, we have Inu with the chat countdown. Looks like some banter going on between the players. I wish I knew what they were saying once again, because I'd like to be able to convey that to all of you. Sometimes what these players get up to in the lobbies is rather funny. You know, I cast Trovo Future versus Vindicta last night. They were just the banter, the maximum tier bants throughout the entirety of that series. But that's neither here nor there. Because we are loaded into game number 6. And here we are in the upper right, in the red, beginning the long slog towards an ace match. It's TY. And in the bottom left, still on set point, in the red, it's parting. Oh no, has Cynical Death seen fit to ban me from my own cast? I know you're banning Grazi, but you know what? Yeah, tabbed autocomplete emotes would be rather nice. I do agree. But, you know, Trovo is still in beta. No, what it really needs is the ability to, autocomplete, but also like what Discord does, where it gives you a nice autocomplete of every single emote that you have access to everywhere, and a nice graphical interface. But, you know, Discord actually does that rather well. But now we do have the Probe Scout coming in once again. Looks like Parting has been shown the lie to his ability to do cheeky shenanigans as well. You know what? He's done a great job in general. He's gone. He's won the 3 macro games, but he's lost the 2 games. He tried to do a max specs build, didn't work. Tried to do a proxy robo, also didn't work. TY just appears impervious to this early game pressure, so we're going to see another game that's going to go some level of the distance once again. As TY will eventually be able to get that command center down. Not exactly on location, but, you know, it's a command center. You can lift it, you can drop it. No big deal there. So now the question is, what is our tech of choice coming in from both of our players here? Warp Gate on the way. That's no big surprise. I think, just knowing Party, I think we're probably going to see a Twilight tech of some sort coming out of here. We're probably, it's not Stargate, because generally when you're going Stargate, you get that before your Warp Gate. So seeing that Warp Gate going down, no Stargate in the way, yeah, that probably means we're going to see some Twilight tech here. It could be Fast Robo, but it's not really a thing in TVT, or, PVT. Unless you're parting and you're going for some sort of weird proxy robo all-in, but that's not what we're seeing in this game. So yeah, there we go. There's the Twilight Council going down. Probably going to see the robo behind it, and probably just going to go into some sort of blink play behind this. Of course, we could see Dark Templar. We did see that in, what was that, Game 4? And of course, all these styles: 3-gate blink, 4-gate blink, DT, even some most Stargate play. The idea behind this, of course, is you just want to keep the Terran home. Anything you can do to pin the Terran back, to not allow them to be dropping everywhere, to be expand on the map. That's kind of what you want to do. So whatever party goes for, that is kind of most likely that is kind of the rationale there. As now it looks like we do have a Hellion and a Reaper. They're going to try to see what they can do to get in. Of course, there is going to be kind of a wall. Reaper's now going to get into the main base, see just about everything. He's going to see, well, he will not see the Dark Shrine, not at first. But he is doing a good job of getting a bunch of workers, because now he's going to jump into the main base, going around the natural. Okay, so he will see the Dark Shrine. And I already had a Raven on the way anyways. So, not that big of a deal, but it does mean that he does know to store some, to conserve some scans. To make sure that, you know, when the Dark Templar runs into the natural, he has detection for both locations. So now we do have a Warp Prism on the way, and Parting's going to try to get something done with this Dark Templar tech that has been scouted. Now we did see he was able to get, not game ending damage. I mean, again, it's been scouted, but rather significant damage done in game number what was that? Game number 4 off this DT opener. And the question is whether he's going to be able to do that again in this game. So we do have a third command center on the way. That probably will get canceled by these Dark Templar rather easily. And now we do have the Raven and the Marines. They're going to go out and they're going to find this Warp Prism just about immediately. But that means the Marines are not in the main base. And there's just not a whole lot of anti-air here. So now there's going to be an auto turret, and that's nice. But the Warp Prism can just get out of there, drop the Dark Templar on things. And sure, you know, having a Raven is nice. It allows you to detect things. Yes, absolutely. But, you gotta have something that can fire on what is being detected. Nice micro here from Parting as he drops in, kills a couple workers, gets out, and as long as he stays alive, well, that's gonna be a rather good deal. So behind this, Sushi with the banhammer. So are we gonna move it into? Okay, so we're gonna get Archon drops behind this. I like this. This is gonna be rather. So one thing you gotta be worried about, of course, is this is a. Oh, wow, they just finished just in time. Okay, so that Hellion's going to go down. But anyway, the one thing you gotta be worried about here, of course, is there is a Raven. It has some amount of energy, but now actually the Raven's going to be going across the map trying to get some damage done. Which means that these Archons are gonna be able to do a decent amount. Actually, no, there are 2 Ravens, so maybe not. So Parting, you can see him here. He's doing his best to stay outside of disruption range, or disable range. As he does that, well, these Archons are dead. There we go. There we go. That's the disable number 1. But it happened after the Archons were already picked up. So great micro from Parting here. Of course, now there is a Viking out, which means the era of the Warp Prism is done, and Parting has really didn't even get nearly as much done as he did last game. But behind this, we do have our Mortals on the way. We do have Blink on the way. Charge has not been completed. +1 on the way, as well as Parting just looking on to set up his tech tree on into the mid game. This Warp Prism really should not get a whole lot more done, but Parting is trying anyways because he is Parting. So of course the big benefit here is he has forced the Terran to stay on. I mean, he's the 3rd command center. That's nice, but he's forced him to stay on 2 bases. Oh man, I thought he was gonna try to snipe those. Wow, the Banshee, or wow, the Ravens, but that's not exactly going to be the case. Now we do have it running in once again. He's going to try to snipe this tank, but there's a 2nd tank here. And once again, Parting is able to keep his Archons alive through the disable. So, again, well done from Parting. Well done indeed. So behind this, we do have Charge on the way. We have a bunch more gates. And it looks like Parting is all set to move on into this mass gate Charge Blink Stalker style, as he looks to really just take the fight to his opponent. He's done a great job of keeping TY back for this entire game with the Archons, with the Dark Templar. And now we do have the Archons out moving in once again. This time they will soak rather significant damage to their hulls. But now we're at the point where a bunch of gates are done. We have a bunch of Zealots warping in now, being moved across the map. And we're just going to wait for one more working. We're going to wait for Charge, and a Parting's going to now, well, +1's going to be done as well. So this is a rather scary attack that Parting is getting ready to do here. It's going to make TY's life rather difficult. Now, he has not taken as much damage as he did in the last Dark Templar game. So that is something in his favor. But now, of course, Parting's taking a rather weird angle. Now, there is the tank on the high ground here, so that's rather nice. And this Liberator is in a great position to be able to get something done. And there's not a lot of anti-air at the moment. Yeah, and Parting will be forced back. It's really a disastrous fight for him as he tries to see what he can get done. But again, there's not a lot of anti-air, not enough gateways, and he was fighting under tank fire, tanks that he could not get on top of this entire time. But now we do have the Immortals that are going to get on top of this tank. That one tank will go down. So now it appears that round 2 is the round that Parting actually gets what he wants to get done here. So the Immortals are going to get targeted down, though, by this Liberator, and that's nice. So the second Immortal, this Immortal hardened shields are just barely not up. And now we have Parting blinking in, and now we're at the point where there's only one tank on the map that is on the high ground, but this gives Parting full reign onto the natural of our red Pro-Terran or blue Pro-Terran player. And Parting, it's weird, so I'm looking at this, and the army supplies are vastly in favor of TY, but where is that army? Just you don't feel it as well. Parting just feels like he has too much, despite the fact that Parting only has 25 army supply to the 41 of TY. I guess it's because the Ravens really can't do a whole lot to fight at the moment. And there we have it, GG Parting. He's going to take the series 3-2. Yeah, that's weird. It's interesting. Parting down on army supply throughout the entirety of that engagement, but he just had all of his army in one spot, and the majority of that army of TY was in things like Ravens and Medivacs that do not explicitly fight. So there we go. Parting taking a best of 7 against TY in style, and that was kind of a cool build we saw from him. That three base charge lot +1 all in. Not something you see all that often. But anyway, that is going to do it for me this morning. I think I'm gonna go take a nap after this. With that being said, I'm not done for the weekend, not by any stretch of the imagination. So first of all, if you want to see when I am in particular am casting, I cast on several different locations. I tweet out about all of them, so you can follow me on Twitter.com at BaleMolf_SC2 on Twitter. That's where I tweet all that stuff out. I have a rather busy schedule this weekend, so starting tomorrow morning at 6 a.m., I'll be casting the King of Battle qualifiers, the Korean qualifiers #1 with Byun, with Pure, with Parting, with pretty much every top tier Korean pro. It's gonna be 6 a.m. until it's done, or until I have to go to class because I have a class about 1 in the afternoon. And then on Saturday, I will be covering the King of Battles North American qualifier starting at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And again, that's going to be going until it's done or until Sugar's 2v2 tournament starts. Sugar is, of course, running a 2v tournament. So a 2v2 tournament, this is the North American Apprentice 2v2 tournament that will be starting at 8 p.m. That will be the first day of groups. Going to be run GSL style groups there. And then on Sunday, starting at 6 a.m., once again, I'll be doing the Korean qualifier #2. And then the European qualifier at noon. And then the Sugar 2v2 tournament at 8 p.m. Now, the KBI, the King of Battles, I guess KOB, not KBI qualifiers, will be on my channel, my Twitch channel, that is HTTPS, well, you don't need that, twitch.tv/BaleMolf. That's where I'll be casting the majority of that. I believe Creighton is the other English caster for that one. And then the 2v2 tournaments will be on my Trovo page at BaleMolf, trovo.live/BaleMolf. So other than that, I don't have other stuff on the bracket, but massive shout out to Alpha X, to Sushi, to the rest of the Alpha X team that allow these events to happen. Massive shout out to our sponsors, to Into the Clan, to Trovo, because I believe Trovo sponsored this one, and Mascherino for providing those 50-cent codes that hopefully we're going to use all of. Everyone, a final shout out, go to the Mascherino page, use the code, go do it. It's a cool thing. It's absolutely worthwhile. It's 50 free cents. that goes to your favorite players. You can also, of course, buy all the replays from these 3 series for $5. Of course, unfortunately, Grazie, this is Trovo. We don't chatbots are not really built at the moment. But there you go. That is your link. I cannot send it because I'm not a moderator. But if you look down below in like the info page, you can see that the Matcherino code is there, or the Matcherino page or Matcherino link is and code are there under About Me on this stream. Also, make sure to do some quests because that encourages sponsors to do more money for SDU. There we go. Thank you very much, Sushi. And with that, I think I'm going to go take a nap before I got class this afternoon. Thank you, everyone, for showing up. I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful day, wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, whatever the time may be for you all. And with that, I'm signing off. Stay safe, everyone. Have a wonderful evening. Or wonderful rest of your day, as the case may be. Bye, everyone.